injured in an accident, you need a lawyer. And you deserve an advocate. Because every accident has a ripple effect. It affects your time, your health, your ability to make money, everything. That's where the advocates can help. Speaking with an attorney is simple and 100% free. We're available 24/7 for your convenience, and we'll take on the claims process so you can rest easy. Because you're not just a client to us, you're a person, and you deserve the best help you can get. You deserve an advocate.
This is The Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find The Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, The Monty Show live on Wednesday, the last day of April. Hey, hello, it's May already. We're almost 6 months from Christmas, if you can believe that. That's unbelievable. 6 months from now, we'll be getting ready to go to Paris. Cannot wait for that. As always, The Monty Show is presented by our good friends at The Advocates, theadvocates.com. If you've been in Iraq, friends, you get hurt at work. Did you get rear-ended driving to work? Did you get hit on your bicycle over the weekend? Weather's nice. You're back out on two wheels. You and I both know drivers on the road in those cars and trucks do not respect bicycles and motorcyclists. If you get in an accident, be ready. Get to The Advocates at theadvocates.com, where you can chat with an injury attorney live online, and it won't cost you a dime. So you never pay the advocates unless and until they win your case. So you never reach into your pocket. There are no retainers. There are no consultation fees. Just clear, risk-free advice when you need it most at theadvocates.com. A lot to get to today. Couple of shout-outs. What's up, Joseph Harper? First one in today. Afternoon, Monty and Jake. Joseph, I hope you're doing better on Prize Picks. Although Chaboy was 3 for 3 last night in both the NBA and Major League Baseball. We did well. Welcome to the nightmare. Hello. All Los Angeles teams have got one foot in the grave and the other on a banana peel. I think the Dodgers are doing pretty well. Could be wrong, right? TJ Beck, hello to you. Cheeseburgers on Harbaugh. LeBron's buying the Cokes. Coke, is that like soda or cocaine?
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Significant difference. Speaking of which, real quick, and I really should save this, but this Goggins thing. Did you guys see this Goggins thing?
Stay hard.
And yes, we're going to talk NBA playoffs and the Lakers. And did you guys see this Goggins, Israel Adesanya thing? Like, apparently, and I don't know why in any way, shape, or form, you would want to work out with David Goggins, right? There's just there's no reason to do it. But Israel Adesanya thought that it'd be okay to, work out with Goggins. That was until he couldn't stand and Adesanya was throwing up everywhere. And would you ever want to work out with Goggins?
Hell no. Nope.
If you wouldn't even attempt it.
No chance, dude. No way, dude. David Goggins is on an absolute another, galaxy in terms of mental toughness and what he can do.
I'm here for it, but if Israel Adesanya is any indication, nah, dude, I'm out.
Yeah. Oh. Come off it, easy. Come off it, easy.
Look at Goggins taunting him.
Get back on it. Quickly. Resume.
Let's go, Izzy. Nice. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's go, Izzy. 2, 1, 2.
He can't even finish a Stairmaster workout. And Izzy Adesanya, for those of you who don't know, is a stud. He's one of the best MMA fighters ever. And he can't finish a workout with David Goggins.
Nope.
That's the level that Goggins is on. That's like the pure magic that is David Goggins. I want nothing to do with it. And listen, man,
I'm not working out with David Goggins. I'd be happy to supervise a David Goggins workout. To watch.
You would want to go and watch?
I would, if it's David Goggins and Izzy, I'm happy to watch. But that's just a wild scene that you've got, a great UFC fighter like Adesanya, and you've got David Goggins absolutely breaking him.
Yeah,
like you just don't see that a whole lot, and I feel like David Goggins is kind of a legend on Instagram for all of his quotes and the things he talks about and all the Joe Rogan bites and there's just like he's built this persona, and I think that some people, when you go a certain path, wind up being super mentally tough. And, Goggins going through the SEALs and doing all the things he did. And like, it's just crazy.
There's something wrong upstairs. There's something wrong upstairs. And listen, obviously I am not a cardio guy. I'm not an endurance guy. I'm a lift weight, play golf.
Do you even lift?
Go to bed. Like, that's it. That's my workout. Lift weight, play golf, go to bed. Done. I'm not like my wife doing these, what they call brick workouts, where you're training for a triathlon. So you
brick
swim.
Workouts.
Yeah, it's called a brick workout. It's a real thing. Look it up. You swim, then you bike, then you run, and you stack those workouts on top of it. Dude, that's too much for me. That's too much for me. I can't do it. I'm just not. Right. Like, and
stay hard.
That's Goggins. I like listening to David Goggins. Like,
but there's a burnout factor.
But
at some point you burn out on being called weak and soft, and you need to get your ass out of bed and all of that, bro. Like, come on.
I can't even begin to understand the pain that Izzy was feeling working out. Like,
a lot.
He's a UFC athlete. All they do is train endurance. And he can't even stay on a Stairmaster.
Yeah.
Look at, like, he can't even stand up.
Come off it, Izzy. Don't come off it, Izzy.
Look at him trying to hang on, and he falls off.
Get him back on it. Get him back on it.
And Goggins is like, get him back on.
Stay hard. Quickly. Resume.
And then he's like, no hand.
Let's go, Izzy.
Let go.
Nice. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
And Izzy even says in this clip at the end, like, that he's never really done anything like this.
Let's go, Izzy. 2, 1, 2.
You just break. You're looking at a UFC elite athlete breaking right now.
He's got
Watch
90
his
seconds.
legs.
Get ready for 90. He's got 90 seconds.
He's got 90 seconds.
Stay hard.
I
thought we were going to do like arms or something.
no, dude. I want nothing to do with that.
So extreme.
I want
bro.
nothing. Could you? How far could you make it with Goggins?
Like 20 minutes, maybe at most.
Yeah, I don't. No,
At most.
I think it's one of the craziest stories I've ever seen. That you are Israel Adesanya, one of the finest fighting athletes in the world, and you can't hang with David Goggins. David Goggins is a badass. I'm telling you, and I know that you guys you might even not know who David Goggins is. If you don't know who David Goggins is, go look it up. He will change your life. He will absolutely make you think about things you have never thought about. And I'm just telling you now, I want nothing to do with the workout thing. Like dude, I'm losing weight just by eating well. I don't need to go do cardio.
Stay hard.
Cardio's for healthy people. That's not me. Right? It quite literally is terrifying to me. And before we get to the Lakers, one of the things I was saying was I went to the Salt Lake City Marathon this weekend because my wife ran a 10K. Her friend, one of her training partners, ran a half marathon. And I'm watching these people finishing the Salt Lake City Marathon on a dead sprint. You just ran 26 miles. Oh, excuse me, as the bumper sticker says, 26.2. You just ran 26.2 miles and somehow you saved a kick for the end? Dude, I'm good. Couldn't do it. Could not do it. Not a chance in the world. Gumby says he's definitely not getting out of the ACC grant rights walking like that. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Brandon Butler says pass, right?
Dude.
But does it make you feel less of, I don't know, less of a man? No. Guy, I wear a size 15 shoe. My manhood's not in question, right?
Right.
But it makes me feel lesser than that. I see those people running marathons and Goggins is on a Stairmaster breaking one of the best athletes in the world.
What's up, big bro?
Dude, hello, you have 97% body fat, Chubbs. You might want to think about it. Right? Like, and my wife getting up and doing all these Peloton rides and these
brick workouts.
Dude, what is wrong with my brain that I have no desire to do that? I don't know. I don't, and I need to do it.
I think that some people, so everybody's got their thing. You know, everyone's got their challenge that they want to, you know, their Mount Everest, if you will, that you want to hike. And I think that, you know, I think that cardio and endurance has a special category for humans, generally speaking. Dude. You know, it just takes you to a different place mentally, you know, and I don't have a whole list of people who I know talk about it, but I just know, like, you can go on YouTube and listen to people talk about, like, endurance training and, like, guys like Izzy, you know, talking about,
dude, from the Mark Stewart from the Advocates.
Mark Stewart, right?
Doing like the mountain run thing.
You know, like, so all these people always talk about, like, hey, like, you know, when I'm doing cardio, like, you'll hear a lot of people say it's soothing, like, mentally, like, they get into this zone and it's like they just can. Yeah, I'm just telling you, that people who are great at cardio and who do a lot of cardio and who do half marathons and all that, just go to a different place mentally.
The only place I go mentally is pass out and die.
Yeah.
That's where I go.
My challenge, you know, I don't even hate cardio. I don't enjoy it, but I don't necessarily despise it. But my biggest thing would just be, I'm not interested in doing cardio to the point where I can run a marathon or anything like that. You know, I totally believe that doing cardio is great for your heart health and exercising your heart as a muscle. And, like, you know, and it's great for your obviously your cardiovascular system. But my whole thing would be, like, I would only be doing cardio so I could get in better shape to feel better over 18 holes, you know, like, that's why.
True.
You know, or, like, you know, if I was, you know, the day that I eventually get back to the gym, you know, my whole purpose would be just to lose weight and get functionally stronger to swing a golf club. Like, that's what I would be into. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just have mad respect for people who have the want to or the willingness to go through the pain of, because you understand how much it hurts to, like, run that much, right? Like, your knees hurt, your back.
Do you know what your feet look like?
Your feet are destroyed. Like, it's crazy, bro. And I'm not with
even,
that, man.
I'll tell you, even doing I have so much respect for anybody that can even do, like, a half marathon. Watching my wife run this 10K, and my wife was paired with a training partner of hers who's really slow, cannot even really run at all. And my wife was like, dude, it was so frustrating. I was trying to, you know, do this 10K, which is what, 6 miles or whatever,
I think.
And she's like, at the 5th mile, I had to tell the lady, hey, I got to leave you behind. And she ran the like, you have that
10K is 6.2 miles.
You have that psychosis that you got to run and you're scratching an itch to run. Like, dude, I wish I did.
No.
I wish I did.
What it is it's harder to run slow. Like,
yes,
it's harder to run not in your
Totally
natural
agree.
rhythm and cadence. And so, you know, Mrs. Monty, and we've talked about this a little bit on the program, like, you know, when you're training and, you know, you really literally, not figuratively, literally find your stride in your running pace. it's difficult to when you're, I mean, I don't know what her pace is, but like if you're just as a random example, like if you're running like an 11-minute mile, you know, and your running partner's a 14-minute mile, that's going to be really hard for the 11-minute person because you're going way slower.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's a problem at all.
No. Good afternoon, Cam Harrison, Brandon Butler. I did a half marathon about a year ago. Those MFers are built different, man.
Dude.
And it's so impressive to me. Like I'm standing right on the railing next to they have these 2 lanes, the marathon and the 10Ks in one lane, the 5K and the half marathons in another lane. We're waiting for their other training partners to finish. And we're watching these marathoners come in. These dudes are running at the finish line. And there's this one girl, I think I told this story the other day. There's this one girl finishing the half marathon, throwing up while she's running to the finish line. Throwing up. Well, just lay down and die. Like I'm not running. Dude, I threw up in my mouth one time at what with the hotel in Vegas, the Palms in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I was walking, not running. I can't imagine running and throwing up. I can't. Okay. Damian Fowler, Jake, you cut out all the roller food and you might be able to give him a run for his money.
Yeah, maybe, dude. I don't know, man.
Eating well changes your life. It truly changes your life. Like I had this really good chicken breast and a sweet potato with salsa for lunch today. Was amazing. We were talking about, hey, you want to get Chipotle? And we wound up not. I made a chicken. I ate the lunch, the meal. I meal prep. So I ate the chicken breast and it was so good. Got on the scale this morning, lost 1.5 pounds. Like that doesn't mean I like it, but it is what it is. Brandon Butler, I read that one already. Jeremiah Sullivan Champion. Afternoon, y'all watching from the classroom. Very, very low volume. Yes,
here, let me do you a favor here, okay?
Macaque.
Yeah. Exactly right. Exactly right. All right, you guys want to start with Lakers or more Bill Belichick drama? We've got T-Wolves and Lakers tonight. -5.5 the Lakers are at crypto. 210.5, 7 o'clock on TNT. Are we watching the last hours and minutes of LeBron James's career? Something tells me if this ends ugly, if they lose tonight, I don't think he'll retire like that. I think if they win this series and then they lose going forward, I think this might be it. I think LeBron might be done. I think he's got the Bronny thing out of the way. I think he might be. Do you think he's near the end?
I mean, he's definitely near the end. I definitely agree that he's not going to go out in just a terrible, embarrassing fashion. You know, you're not going to go out. What are they down 3-1? Have to win 4 in a row, or whatever. Like, you're not gonna, or have to win 3 in a row. I guess that'd be. Yes. You know, you're not gonna retire on almost getting swept. Essentially, like you're not doing that. So to me, yeah, he's near the end, but I think LeBron, it's kind of odd. I'm personally waiting for LeBron to hit the switch of like, hey, I'm going to go at this one more time. I'm going to literally just give everything I have, and I'm going to turn back into that guy for like 5 minutes. I'm waiting for that, and I haven't seen it, and I don't know if we're going to get it. But when you talk about him retiring, when you talk about a guy like Bron retiring, I guess I just have a real hard time thinking that, hey, like you're going to go out this way with because you guys, I'm sure, saw all over X and everything where, you know, that clip of him and Anthony Edwards like pushing each other and battling and it's getting physical. Bron has always won that fight. Bron has always been able to overcome. And this is not the first time Bron's been down 3-1, but this is the first time Bron's been down 3-1 at this age, you know, and at this point in his career. And so there's sort of this, you know, when we talk about Bron retiring, I don't know where he's at with retirement yet. Cause I do agree that guys like Bron, Jordan, Kobe, Steph, KD, those are the kind of guys that are not trying to retire on the bottom, right? Like ideally, I would guess in perfect world, Bron would retire as a champion, right? Once again, like that, I think is every athlete's ideal, perfect outcome. But will that happen?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. And I think that what's really difficult is when you're LeBron James, I don't know if he feels this way or not, but I would think at some point there has to be some consideration around, like, you know, what would be the best way for me to retire in terms of my impact on the game? Not just like whether I won a championship, but like, you know, how I leave the game. Like, how do I want to handle that? Like, because we've seen athletes before do the whole, hey, this is my last year. I'm going to sign autographs every night. I'm going to do the farewell tour. Like, I don't know what kind of guy Bron is that way. You know, I could see him handling it both ways. I could see Bron at the end of this year just putting out a tweet saying he's done and that's it. Like, I could see him being super private about it. I could also see him.
Wow, I don't know.
I could also see Bron being a farewell tour guy where he wants the attention. He appreciates the responsibility that he has on a certain level because he is LeBron, because he has had the career he's had, because he's done the things in the game he's done. So I could definitely see that. You know, you're going to play 82 more games or whatever. You know, and you're gonna have a farewell video every night, and like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
I don't think he's that guy, but I also don't think LaDad is the guy that just disappears and never gives anybody a chance to say goodbye. I mean, you don't have one of the best careers in the history of the NBA and just ride off into the sunset without saying goodbye. I think that's very difficult. I think LeBron deserves the farewell tour. I think they should retire his number in Cleveland the last time he ever plays in that building. Like, to me, he's earned that. And I think no matter what you want to say about LeCap, he's been one of the greatest players ever in the NBA, and he's deserved that. And I wonder, because I also think he's one of the most divisive, dividing players in the history of the NBA. And I know there's a lot of people who don't like LeBron and have zero love for LeBron and can't wait till he retires. I'm a diehard NBA guy, and I am trying to enjoy every single minute I get to watch LeBron James, Steph Curry, this group of guys, Kevin Durant. Have we seen the last of the best side of Kevin Durant? That actually hurts my heart to say that. So when we talk about, hey, are we watching the end of LeBron James? We are. But how long is the ending of this movie? How deep is the final chapter of LeBron James? Because now I don't believe it includes another championship. Not with Luka Dončić on the second floor trying to be something that he's never going to be, which is a championship caliber player, in my opinion. Right? LeBron having to drag him across the half court line to play defense. I think all of that matters. I think all of the hate, all of the adversity that LeBron has to deal with on a night in, night out, day in, day out basis, just because he's LeBron James, I think at some point that wears on you. The moment that he had with Bronny, how many people tried to make that a terrible thing or a bad thing or an injustice or it's not fair? That's got to wear on you. Because I think a lot of people forget sports isn't about fair. Sports isn't about the real world. They're playing and making monopoly money that you and I will never understand. So when we sit here and we talk about, hey, is this the end of LeBron? And a lot of people are celebrating that. I would caution you to slow your roll on that and understand we are seeing the end of greatness. And I go back to what Jake said the other day. This is the end of a golden era in the NBA. Mm-hmm. And I think we need to embrace that and understand we're going to get stuck with John Morant and Anthony Edwards. I did not misspeak. We will be stuck with them.
And Jason Tatum and Devin Booker.
Because they're not, but the youngs, the super young guys who don't know how to be NBA professionals. That's who Anthony Edwards is. That's who John Morant and his dad are. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't know who's ever shown them the way. Who showed Zion Williamson the way in that disaster in New Orleans?
Not anybody in the NBA community.
Right? So we're looking at guys like LeBron and Curry, and you can hate LeBron, and I'm sure you do. But what has that guy done that's ever that's ever embarrassed the league off the floor? Has he been involved in sex scandals and divorces and porn star DMs?
Diddy parties.
No, he hasn't. LeBron James has been nothing but a positive for the NBA. Whether we're wondering if he's better than Jordan, whether we're wondering how many times he can lose in the finals, whether we're wondering about his hairline, talking about all that stuff instead of talking about domestic abuse, fathering, kids with multiple women, or the narratives of the Black community always going in the wrong direction. LeBron's been none of that. You want to talk about the BLM parades where him and Anthony Davis were on a bicycle at the back? Okay, great. We can talk about that. But there is no doubt that LeBron James has been one of the best professional basketball players on the planet since the moment he got to St. Vincent St. Mary's. And that won't change until he's done playing with the Lakers in the NBA. And I just don't think very many people appreciate that.
As someone who watched Jordan and Kobe's career come to an end, is it hard to enjoy LeBron?
I think the end of Michael Jordan's career was so disappointing. As a Chicagoan and a diehard Jordan guy, he should have never worn a different uniform. The Washington Wizards debacle, it should have never happened. Phil Jackson should have never coached the Lakers. Scottie and Michael should have never played in Portland and Washington. Michael should have never owned Charlotte. He should have been immediately put in as an owner of the Chicago Bulls. But the problem is the world isn't perfect. There's no such thing as utopia. So Mike winds up playing in Washington and being a terrible ass owner in Charlotte. And Scottie goes to Portland, and Horace Grant goes here, and Steve Kerr goes there, and Phil goes and wins a dynasty in LA. None of that should have ever happened. None of that should have happened. But it did. So the ending of Jordan was really hard for me. But now that's almost, Jordan deserves a pat on the back for only being a part-time player with Washington. LeBron's been to Cleveland, to Miami, to Cleveland, to LA, only outdone by KD, who's been to Seattle and OKC and Golden State.
In Phoenix and now Houston, allegedly.
So when I look at Kobe, I don't love that when I worked for the Lakers and covered that team, I don't love that he would refuse to shoot in Sacramento. Kobe and Shaq should have won 7 championships together, but they couldn't get along. And then Pau Gasol showed up and Kobe won again. Right? But I loved the time that I got to cover Kobe and Shaq. But I think what you're seeing with LeBron, this is the social media era of the NBA.
Yes.
Kobe and Shaq, we didn't have all that. We didn't have all that.
No, you had newspapers.
When did I get a Twitter account? 2009, 2010? We didn't have all that in the early 2000s when Kobe was shooting air balls against Charlotte. We didn't have all that. Right?
March of 2009.
Yeah, there you go. So 2009. We didn't have all that. And you look at the way that social media impacted LeBron's career. Hell, look at the way the pandemic. Think about what happened during the pandemic with all the BLM stuff and the cops in Minnesota and oh, that's right. Again, the pandemic and winning a bubble championship that doesn't count. All of that was in the prime of LeBron's career. Who else has ever dealt with that? Mike didn't, Larry didn't, Magic didn't, right? It's just a different time. I wish people could embrace this. LeBron being really good doesn't diminish what Michael Jordan did, and vice versa. You can't compare the time that Michael Jordan was getting his ass handed to him by the Pistons and the Knicks to what LeBron got now or what Kobe got then. Like, there's no reason to hate Michael so you can love LeBron. There's no reason to tear guys down. This is what we talked about with Shadour and Cam Ward. They're both really good quarterbacks. There's no reason to rip Cam Ward to build up Shadour and rip Shadour to build up Cam Ward. Like, that doesn't exist. There's no reason to do that. But as fans, we get so emotional about sports. And it's why I'm always saying, take your emotions out of it. Because if you take your emotions out of your fandom, you're a much better fan. You're not a fanatic. You're a supporter at that point. You become a fanatic when you start saying stuff like, well, LeBron sucks. That's all you got is, well, he sucks. That's when you know that you're talking to a fanatic. When all they can say is, well, Shadour sucks, or LeBron sucks, or Book sucks, or... Just remember, LeBron James, without an argument, is one of the single greatest professional athletes we've ever seen. And he's one of the first guys not to go to college, to come right out of high school, to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated and not live up to the hype, but far exceed the hype, winning MVPs, scoring championships, being everything that you ever thought he could be and far more. Who remembers going back to Hummergate with Gloria James and LeBron showing up in a Hummer one day, like, you know, Sonny Vaccaro and Adidas, and he overcame all that. Nobody cares about the fact that LeBron drove a Hummer in high school or how he got it. Nobody cares. Like, he has been everything the NBA ever dreamed of and more. And now with him in the sunset of his career and Steph not far behind him, if you're at all an NBA fan, you had really better get into these playoffs, because I think we could, at any dribble of the basketball, look at Damian Lillard.
Rough.
That wasn't any kind of weird, odd thing. Look at Kobe. How did Kobe tear his Achilles? Just by himself, standing on the basketball court, taking a step, and then it was done.
Kevin Durant
shot a couple of free throws, and then he was never the same guy. Kevin Durant, in my opinion, never the same guy since he tore that Achilles. Yet LeBron has never had, knock on wood, that kind of catastrophic injury. Has never had that. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Anyway, I hope you appreciate it. I don't think many people will.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the thing with LeBron is just that, you know, over the course of his career, there have been moments where he's been political. There have been moments where he's been, you know, off the floor stuff has made him controversial. And I think that, you know, some people won't let that go and can't appreciate basketball player LeBron, you know, and I think, you know, getting the you know, the Bronny situation, I think changed how people look at LeBron. You know, a lot of people, right or wrong, feel like LeBron got Bronny drafted and Bronny has no business in the league. And that's your opinion. But I think that when we talk about his legacy and, like, you know, how people view him, these are things that, right or wrong, you know, affect how people view him. And I think that that's going to be the interesting part. I also think that something everyone needs to be prepared for is LeBron's going to be one of the most active players post-retirement we've ever seen. You know, I mean, what doesn't get talked about a lot is, like, his production company, the fact that he's going to be an NBA owner without a doubt. You know, the fact that his NBA ownership, you know, process and experience is probably going to be superior to what Jordan did and what you know, Jordan had to work with. You know, LeBron's probably going to get an expansion team. That's what most people assume is going to happen. Hey, he's going to get the Vegas expansion team. We've heard that angle for years now. So, you know, I just think that LeBron James is an incredibly intelligent person. I think that he's very savvy business-wise. And yeah, he's one of the best basketball players we've ever seen. And there's a reason the dude's, I don't know if he's officially a billionaire, but working towards that. You know, like, there's a reason. So I just think, I would agree, you have to appreciate him, but to get back to the day-to-day, I am waiting for the vintage LeBron performance. I'm waiting for the game, and I'm hoping it's tonight. I don't know that it'll be tonight, but I'm waiting for the 35-10 dominate you, keep my team in the series kind of game from Bron. And I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm not sure if that's within him still.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it is. I think the best of LeBron is done. That's what I think. T. Lawrence says, Monty, you casual, you had Twitter when Kobe and Powell won back-to-back. Twitter wasn't, okay, when I covered Kobe daily, 2001 and 2 during the Phil Jackson run, social media wasn't even a thing. And when did he win with Powell? 9 and 10 wasn't really a thing. Not the way it is now. Not the way it is in the prime of LeBron's career. Like I look back to the early Laker Phil Jackson dynasty. Dude, the radio mattered. That was, in my opinion, one of the greatest times to ever work in sports radio. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, and I think that's the other hard part about times now is we don't have great media anymore, in my opinion.
We don't.
I think it's really, really, it's so watered down now that we're faced with just a writer here or a writer there. We don't have, with all due respect to ESPN, we don't have great networks. We don't have great outlets. We have a great writer. We have a great contributor on an individual basis that it's like Woj, right? Like Woj, while he was always an ESPN guy, Woj was always his own guy that just happened to work at ESPN, and he was a brand unto himself. And I think that's where I say, like, yeah, I don't know. When you talk about like it being like, Anthony Edwards League or Jaws League, like
look at the difference from Woj to Shams.
Yeah, it's a huge difference, a massive fall off. I don't even think it's close.
Not even close. It's just one of those things where you can't, when you can't, you just can't put your finger on what's different about guys like Ant and Ja. And all you know is that the NBA is really hoping that Cooper Flagg is not that. And I think this league's in real trouble when LeBron retires. Like, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is a major, major issue. Big Blue Horses. LeBron, Luka ran out of gas. In an era of load management and minimal contact, they need to be in shape. LeBron James is an elite athlete. LeBron James is not out of gas. LeBron James is 79 years old. So he plays at a different speed. But again, and listen, I don't know how much LeBron you guys watch. But if you look at Ladad's stats, just go look at his numbers in this series: 19, 21, 38, and 27. And we're saying that he just isn't in shape when he's got 3 out of 4 games a double-double with rebounds, 8 dimes, 7 dimes. Like, he's scored 105 points in the series and he's out of shape. He's playing remarkable defense. He's shooting, 40% from 3 and he's out of shape. Like, the guy is still performing at a very high level. That's what's remarkable about 40-year-old LeBron James is he's averaging 26 points, 9.5 boards, 5 dimes, 2 blocks, 2 steals on only 2.5 turnovers, and he's shooting 50% from the floor and 40% from 3. Yeah, I'm not complaining about his output. I'm not complaining about his output, not even a little bit. I think if you want to complain about somebody in this series, it is Luka Dončić not playing defense.
Yeah.
He is an absolute cinder block on defense for the Lakers. And it's unthinkable that, does he put up points? Yes, he's averaging 30 points, but he's averaging 7 rebounds. He's averaging 5 dimes. You're Luka Dončić and you're shooting 36% from 3, 46% from the floor, and you're shooting in volume. You're averaging 21.5 shots a game. That's a lot of shots for a guy, who plays no defense.
Yeah.
That's a lot of shots. And so I simply say to you, the Lakers are out of gas. LeBron's not out of gas. I put some of this on JJ Redick because he's not playing Dalton Connect, which It was awesome to flip on ESPN 710 in LA and listen to them talk about, hey, where's Dalton Connect? Because I think everybody wants to know that.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Maxi Kleber's coming back as well. I think there was some news about that. I think he's going to be available if I saw that correctly.
But does that make a difference?
Oh, I think it makes a difference. Yeah, that's another spot up shooter. That's another guy that he's a playoff performer, no question about it.
Well, I think what's staggering to me is that the Lakers are 5.5 on 210 points on a 210 point total.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really think this is that kind of shootout? Because I don't know that this is that kind of shootout. I really am not convinced it's that kind of shootout. Brandon Butler, the NBA offseason is going to be wild. Giannis, KD, Book, and LeBron. How about this Giannis thing with Tyrese Haliburton's dad?
Yeah.
This is, in my opinion, this is one of the worst things that I have seen in this league in a long time. After the game last night, where the Indiana Pacers eliminate the Milwaukee Bucks from the postseason, Tyrese Haliburton had phenomenal moments throughout the series, was a big deal last night. Look at what Haliburton's dad did to Giannis. And explain to me how this is at all acceptable. That's Tyrese Haliburton's dad taunting Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And then watch what it leads to. And this is the part that bothers me. Is this here is what bothers me for the NBA. These two are like jawing and like going at it and like
get them out of
like,
there.
What like one how is it that a fan is allowed to go on the floor? One. Two, don't care if it's, Haliburton's dad or not. That's of no consequence in my opinion. He's still a fan. He is not affiliated with a team. Like, shouldn't be on the floor. Because the situation was he had been doing this towel with Tyrese's face on it. His dad had been sitting under the basket all night, flashing this towel and taunting Giannis, and it had been a thing. And then the game is over, and you just think it's okay to run on the floor. Like, I don't understand how that's allowed. I don't know. Like, and again, I'm not saying it's Tyrese's fault at all. It's not. But the behavior is just incredible to me. And this whole concept of, dads and their sons in sports being a problem, I feel like is a growing thing in sports.
In the NBA, it's a problem. Look at John Morant's dad.
Yeah.
That guy's a problem.
Yeah. Getting into it with Shannon Sharp on the sideline on the courtside seats. And, I think that sometimes we don't appreciate the fact that, hey, like, just because my kid's in the NBA and got me a courtside seat doesn't mean I own the world, bro. That doesn't mean that you're special or
Jokic's brothers.
Like, perfect example. Like, dude, I get it. You're his family, and that's great, and that's why you have a courtside seat. That doesn't entitle you to come running on the floor and talk a bunch of junk to Giannis. That's not how this works, dude.
No, I agree. Brandon Butler, do it like stock. Last day of the season in his locker, I think I'm done. Different time.
I think that's a fascinating conversation, dude.
I do too. How should LeBron retire?
Yeah.
It's going to be a release. It's going to be a press release, which I think
you don't think he'll do a video? You don't think he'll do like him talking and saying like, because like Tom Brady did the Instagram thing, right?
He did,
and that was
the first time or the second time.
Yeah, I know, like the 18th time. We get it. I'm trying to think of other athletes. Like most people just put out, like a tweet or like a graphic or something.
Because how many LeBron and Tommies, how many TB12s and LeBrons are there?
Yeah, not a lot. I don't know. I'm inclined to think LeBron will do a video because he's got a production company. He's of that mind.
I hope that it is coordinated. I hope that the next game, whether it's after the season and the first game of the year, they retire his number with the Lakers. And his number, I don't know, is he 23 or is he 6? I have no idea. I still maintain 23 should never be worn by anybody else in this league.
Agreed.
But if you're the Lakers and you're Cleveland, you got to retire the number 6.
Yeah. Cleveland will absolutely retire.
Right? Yeah, I think you have to. Big Daddy Magic. LeBron doesn't sign autographs, and he's not going out like a punk I've seen going out on a farewell tour. We'll see. I don't view him as a farewell tour guy. I don't. Stepanek. Hello, Steve. He's a great longevity player. I would agree with that. Steely, good to see you. Al Bundy. Luka couldn't guard your grandmother in a phone booth. How bad is it, bro? Like, it is.
My name is Luka.
And I know that everybody likes to rip Nico and talk about how bad that trade is. Was that trade really that bad? My theory is 5 years from now, I think the Mavericks will look like the winners of that trade. I don't have any idea if any of that is on their roster anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any idea if Anthony Davis is ever a productive member of that team. But not paying Luka a supermax extension will be a win for the Dallas Mavericks, because I don't think that dude is ever going to play defense. And if he doesn't play defense, no team that he is on will ever win a championship.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
Because
it just alleviates your 40-point performance, right? That's great. You can put 40 up, but you gave up 40, so who cares?
Yep. LeBron might go to Aaron Rodgers' fortress of solitude and then come out with his decision. Could be. Could be.
Where is Aaron right now?
Patrick Roybal, Diddy parties. Yeah. The fact that LeBron was never involved in any of that nonsense off the court, you never had to worry about him. It's amazing. T. Lawrence, LeBron is number 2 all time, but I got Steph number 6. Again, you're not comparing Magic Johnson to LeBron James. You're not. I am still the guy that says if you didn't see them play with your own 2 eyes, you can't make the comparison.
Yeah.
I think LeBron's the greatest player of his generation. And I don't care how many titles he has, or he's the single greatest basketball player of this generation. And he's one of the top 5 players I've ever. The argument is not LeBron and Michael. It's Kobe and Michael, because I think Kobe's better than LeBron. But I think they're in different eras.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's a I really don't think there's a comparison between the two. I really don't. I already read that one. Thank you. We live in an era where that you can tell Jaron Duran at a baseball game that he should have killed himself. Did you guys hear that story? Cleveland fan has to be better than that. The Jaron Duran of the Red Sox, who admittedly tried to take his own life in 2022. I mean, the heinous things. It's what I love and despise about sports. Fans think that they can say anything they want. And this really, in my opinion, is really this new incarnation of Twitter has given life to this, where you can tell people to, go do this or insult people and threaten people. Like,
yep.
I really hope that at some point we do more than just say, oh, that's too bad. I'm sorry that happened to you. Like, that fan should be banned. I'm a big believer in that. Just because you bought a ticket doesn't mean you have a license to say whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's brutal. Steve Stepanek, Sanders got screwed in the draft. Yeah, I don't think he did. Shadour should have hired an agent. And now, I mean, the story that's being written about Shadour Sanders is he allegedly intentionally tanked interviews because he didn't want to go to certain teams. That information got around, and general managers were aware that he didn't have an agent. He had nobody shepherding him through a very difficult process at the combine and the pre-draft interviews. This is what happens when you're on cruise control. And I don't in any way, shape, or form believe that Shadour Sanders got screwed.
No,
I don't. I would disagree with that. So, Steve Stepanek, LeBron calling himself the greatest is where he made his mistake. Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. I'm the least fanatical guy around. Believe that you are one of the most emotional fans on the entire show. The nonsense you routinely run out about Victor and Josh Allen is embarrassing. Hank Loranger, UNC needs to save face and fire Belichick. No, not in any way, shape, or form. And I guess we can. Let's get into Belichick. Get 10 minutes from now. We'll get into this Belichick thing.
Listen, I think you have to be able to separate guys from on the floor and off the floor, man. I think that I agree. Personally, I hate that LeBron said that when he said that. I hate the whole "I'm the greatest ever" thing. It's arrogant. It completely lacks context. You know, I can. The reality is, you can make a case he's the greatest player ever, and you can make a case that he's nowhere near Jordan. Why do we play the game? To win the game. Great. You've been to 10 finals and you only won, 4 times? It's embarrassing. You're a 40% winner. Stop telling me you're the greatest ever.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, I can sit here and I can say, okay, well, on the other hand, Bron's played how many seasons? 20 seasons or whatever it is now. And, the greatest scorer of all time. Like, the laundry list of accolades is a laundry list. It's endless. So again, the reality is that I agree. He's one of the best players of his generation. I would think if you're the NBA, you're not really going to give him too much of a choice. He is going to get a farewell tour. You're going to go way out of your way to celebrate this guy, as you should. Like, I would guess that effort's going to be there. So I just think that people they hear LeBron James and they go right to the worst stuff. Oh man, this, that, and the other. He's terrible. Okay, cool. The reality is, he's one of the most enjoyable basketball players we've ever seen play the game, dude.
I agree. No doubt about it. And I just think people take him for granted. I think it's wild to me. Kathy Sidlecki, LaChina James is going to pass up a chance to sing about himself. Isn't going to. I would disagree with that. I think that I don't think LeBron wants that kind of spotlight. Does LeBron like publicity? Well, of course he does. He's a businessman. Does he want to be honored in every arena he goes to? Probably not. That's never been his style, in my opinion. So, Lee Jensen, Steph is my GOAT. Hey, it very well could be. He is one of the best players of your generation. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that. Kathy says Larry and Magic saved the league. I think so many people, and I guess I'm aging myself. Like, you never saw Larry and Magic play.
Nah,
you
only
never
on
saw
YouTube.
Never saw Dr. J play. You really didn't see Kobe play.
I didn't see Michael play.
Right? Never saw Jordan
I saw Kobe play. I saw Kobe. I didn't see young Kobe play. I saw Kobe play when he was winning with Powell. I didn't see Kobe and Shaq. That wasn't my, I may have physically seen it on TV as a kid, but I can't regurgitate it to you.
Such a freak show.
Yeah, I can't tell you culturally what it meant. I can't tell you I can't tell you what he can tell you about Kobe and Shaq, right? That's because I was too young. I was not old enough to appreciate what was on front of me in the two. But the I can absolutely talk all day about Kobe and Powell and and just those teams and I watched the Shannon Brown Kobe teams and that infamous clip where the chase down block by Shannon Brown and Kobe in the bench. I watched that live. I remember that. I at least was lucky enough to see that from there basically forward. But I'm so pissed that I was not alive and well to watch Jordan do what he did, because I would have loved to have seen it.
I'm telling you, LeBron James, I watched and covered Michael Jordan, covered Kobe and Shaq, covered LeBron. I was at LeBron's first game in Sacramento. LeBron James, what he has done for this league, the money he has made this league, the highlight tape, the gravitational pull that he is in society, the icon that he has built himself into, the businessman he's built himself into, the multi-billionaire net worth he's built himself into. I don't know that we've ever seen outside of Michael Jordan, and Kobe passed way too early, so we have no idea what his billions would have been. But LeBron is going to be that guy who only gets started once he's done playing. And much like Mike with the Jordan brand and LeBron James and his business entities, and I mean, he is the new standard for success amongst professional athletes. I mean, if you look at the things he's done and then watch the way that others have mirrored him in other sports, it's pretty amazing. And that's why I say when people talk about, and I'm sure I can pick one out, LeBron carried the NBA for so long, he deserves a farewell tour. Right here. Kathy says, LaChina James destroyed the NBA.
Okay, why don't you elaborate?
Trolling.
Why don't you elaborate on how he destroyed the NBA?
That's all that is you don't like LeBron. So you're going to make a ridiculous statement you can't back up. There's no way to back that up. There is no way to back that up. On any level, the idea that he destroyed the NBA, it's ridiculous. T. Lawrence, LeBron is more magic than Kobe. I don't even compare Kobe to LeBron. Kobe's great. Kobe is top 10, but I'm not taking Kobe over LeBron or Steph. Then I'm going to guess you never saw Kobe play. Because if you saw Kobe play, the things that Kobe Bryant did in his prime,
dude,
outshine LeBron's. I've watched them both in their best days. Michael outshined Kobe. Kobe outshined LeBron. If you watched it night in and night out, they all do spectacular things. Jordan had that ability. No, I've never seen it in any other player. Right? But that doesn't mean LeBron sucks or Kobe sucks.
No, I think what people don't want to admit is that they play the game differently, bro. Like Kobe,
completely different.
The fundamental, like if you set talent aside, right? Like let's set the talent aside, the stats and all that nonsense aside. The fundamental difference between Kobe and Michael and LeBron James is Kobe and Michael instilled fear in the opposition. You did not want to play those two. You didn't want to speak to them. You didn't want to wear the wrong shoe on any given night. You didn't want to be seen to be, talking to the wrong guy at the wrong time that made them take that personally. You did not want anything to do with that.
Kobe, and I think that's a great point. Kobe, when did I work in Sacramento? I worked in Sacramento in 2005, 2003, 4, and 5. Kobe Bryant terrorized Sacramento Kings fans. Doug Christie is now the head coach of the Sacramento Kings. Go look at what Kobe did to him. Go look at what Kobe did to those teams. Go look at the Bibby, Weber, Vlade, Christie years. And you go look at going back to Sacramento for Game 7. Never a doubt they were winning that game. You could throw the whole team at Kobe and he was still going to beat you. You look at the alley-oop. So many people remember that one play, the alley-oop from Kobe to Shaq.
Yeah.
But what you don't understand is they were down huge points in a Game 7 to Portland. And Kobe and Shaq willed them back to that win. It's one of the, and nobody talks about that. They talk about Kobe to Shaq for the alley-oop. I'm telling you, you can't look at stat sheets and make, there's no reason to compare Jordan to either Kobe or LeBron, and there's no reason to compare LeBron to Kobe. You want to compare KD to LeBron, you want to compare LeBron and Steph, okay, great. I can guard Steph. I can guard LeBron. There are ways to guard Kevin Durant, especially through the injuries. You had no way to guard Kobe or Jordan. And ask the Knicks and the Pistons. Ask Rick Smits and Reggie Miller about guarding Jordan. The Indiana Pacers. How many dynasties never were in Portland, in Seattle, in Phoenix, in New York, in Indiana? Michael shut all those down. In Cleveland, the shot on Elo. Go ask Craig. Craig Elo and I have had this exact conversation. What that shot did to Craig Elo's career. Brad Daugherty, Mark Price. Go back and look. You can't. Kobe had that moment. No doubt about it. Kobe ended the Sacramento Kings and kept them ringless. Because if the Lakers aren't there, Chris Webber and Mike Bibby probably win multiple rings. Only problem is Kobe was there. And then everybody said, well, Kobe without Shaq, well, what happened when Pau showed up? Turns out Kobe can win without Shaq, and Shaq can win without Kobe. Right? Like,
yeah,
we can do this all day long. There's just no reason to knock guys down. LeBron James is one of the greatest players in the history of the NBA. And there's no ridiculousness you can throw out that will change that. Right? Replica. Regardless of what Luka does going forward, trading him in that manner, well, and that's the key phrase, in that manner.
Yeah.
For that little return has done irreversible damage to the Mavs franchise. I disagree with that. Trading him in that manner, horrifically handled. Okay, so let me ask you, what other manner do you trade him in? Because this Luka situation, you have to put it in a little box, right? There's never been a player like that, handled like that.
Mm-hmm.
There just hasn't. He was, and I'm not sure that you're finding people who are arguing with this. I was listening to Tim McMahon, his podcast from ESPN. Nobody's arguing with the fact that Luka was unprofessional. Luka was out of shape. Luka was not... He was not the guy he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Nobody is arguing with that.
Did you go look at go on YouTube and look at Luka Dončić rookie season?
Oh.
Look at his body. Look at the way he moves. Look at the way he goes about the game. He looks like a bona fide NBA superstar 1 year into the league. Now things have changed.
He looks like a hookah smoking fat ass on defense.
Who can shoot the three, and or I shouldn't say that. He can shoot a three, can't make it at a high enough percentage to justify it, but shoots the three and likes to play in the mid range and doesn't play defense.
Yeah, but your comment's not wrong, Replica. Diehards never coming back. We have a ton of listeners in the Metroplex, and they'll be back. You got to find the next Luka, right? Cooper Flagg gets drafted to Dallas. Nah, he's not Luka. I'm not going back. Yes, you are. They're not broke. It's not like they're not going to spend money. And this, like, listen, remember all the conspiracy theories, Replica, that were out there? Well, the Adelsons want to move the team to Las Vegas.
They're a casino company.
It's Mark Cuban's fault. What a prick. Like, Mark Cuban had nothing to do with that. If Mark Cuban were still the owner of the Mavericks and had a voice, that dude would still be 77 and still be in Dallas.
All right, he'd be getting a Supermax.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's interesting. But as a Tarrant County boy, you're probably more of a Dallas County boy, but as a Mavs fan in DFW, you have a perspective that is very unique and important.
Yeah.
Because historically, fans talk about, well, I'm not buying tickets. Okay, well, I'm the jackwagon who was like, man, I'm pissed at the Ricketts family who owns the Cubs. Yeah, can I get on that season ticket waiting list? And then when it was my turn, do you think I was like, nah, the Ricketts are jerks? No, I coughed up the cash. 8 G's. I'm a Cubs season ticket holder. We don't boycott. I'm not watching. Yeah, you are. I'm never going back. Yeah, you are. I'll buy your first beer. Right? Like
Modelo or Natty Light? What do you think?
What's it going to be here, kid? Like, you're going back. You and I both know
and
you're
you
going
damn
back.
well know when your team sucks, you're going to the Kobe, the game where Kobe and Bron and all the best players are in town.
Joseph Harper. I saw that game when Kobe dropped 81. It was Kobe at his finest. Kobe always had that sweet finish. Damian Fowler, come on, Monty. You could have made Jake sooner, or he could have been alive to watch Jordan play.
I mean, what were you doing,
This
dude?
kid won't even do it. He won't even watch the freaking greatest mafia movie ever in The Godfather. Doesn't like The Sopranos or Hill Street Blues. And you think he'd have watched Jordan? No. He does. He's a millennial who's lazy. He wouldn't have.
You're such a smart person.
Yeah.
You really are lost.
You're not getting off the couch to use a remote. And I got to use a remote. What? Flick you. He ain't watching Jordan. Lazy mother. I kid. Kathy Sidlecki says viewership is down. So viewership is 100% on LeBron James. He turned away many casual fans. He did not. Throwing out hecklers as he should. I cannot say this enough. And if it's the Durant situation in Cleveland or whatever it is, just because you bought a ticket does not give you the right to say heinous, terrible things to people. I live in Salt Lake City. How many racial incidents have there been at Delta Center during Jazz games in the last decade alone? Too many to count. Right? You these things that you think viewership down is LeBron's fault. You really think he is the only one that is responsible? Then how do you account for the numbers they're pulling in the playoffs? Because playoff viewership is up.
Yeah. Here, get that graphic. What do you mean? What do you mean NBA viewership is down? Regular season might have been down. Yeah, because there weren't a lot of storylines. There wasn't a lot of heat.
That's not on LeBron.
And that's not on LeBron. But you want to talk about the impact LeBron James has had? Come on now, dude. Like you're sitting here trying to say that people don't want to watch Bron, that somehow Bron is not helping power the playoffs this year. Are you serious right now? Help me explain this graphic. Then Bron is killing NBA viewership. What do you mean? He's killing it. Second most watched round 1, game 4 ever on ESPN.
And the audience peaked at 10.2 million, excuse me.
And again, right there at the bottom, if you take the comment off the screen, whose numbers are these? Because you're going to say this is fake news, I'm sure, right? Or this is somehow fake or made up or whatever.
Nielsen.
Oh, that's right. It's Nielsen. You know, that little company that tracks analytics?
Up 32% versus last year, comparable playoff games.
I got news for you, okay? And call me tinfoil hat guy. The Lakers aren't losing tonight, okay? This is going to go 6 games, and the Lakers will lose, but this will go 6 games, and the NBA is going to have their pie. I guarantee you that, okay? So let's not sit here and say that LeBron's killing the league or somehow, you know, LeBron's entire career is a joke. Or, like, just stop. Like, you're going to have to provide some facts or some kind of basis for this nonsense. And the funny thing is, this is such a bad comment that you have me sounding like a LeBron guy, and I'm not a LeBron guy at all.
At all.
I don't like LeBron, right? I respect LeBron, but I don't like LeBron James, right? I'm a Kobe guy. Kobe was my dude. Like, after Kobe, I was a Durant guy, right? Like, when Kobe's career was coming to an end, I started getting on the Durant bandwagon, and that let me down too, because Buddy, you know, completely mishandled the Golden State situation and now lost in Phoenix. And now you're telling me you're looking at the Houston Rockets? Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I need somebody. I need a guy in the NBA to hold on to. And right now, yeah, it's probably Steph. But after that, I don't know who it's going to be, man. I don't know.
What is this? Bro. Backwoods, sexy Mike Smith.
Hold on. Okay. Let's see.
Who the fuck are you?
What?
What kind of name is
Backwoods?
Who are you?
Mike Smith.
Who are you? You know.
This is your beloved
Yeah.
Big Daddy Magic, the heavyset one with the big gun with the sweet tongue.
What? What?
Bro, can you help me understand what's up with the name here, dude? What happened with the name change?
Backwoods, sexy Mike Smith. Now we're like,
is it possible that they could ride the D?
Yeah, apparently. Wow. Stadium Guy James. Viewership is down because people have more options to watch. There are so many cable channels and stuff you can stream directly to your phone. Doesn't make a difference. Viewership in the NBA is down for one reason. Why is that? Because the personalities aren't compelling. That's why. That the single biggest issue is that you cannot, in my opinion, latch on to somebody who is playing the game. That's why does LeBron get so much scrutiny? Because you're latched onto him. Why does Steph get so much? Because he's must-watch TV. Is Anthony Edwards must-watch TV? Yeah, I'm going to say he's not. It's one of those things where, in my opinion, you just don't have anybody to hang on to. And I want it to be a thing where we can sit here and say, hey, the future's bright and Steph Curry's amazing. And okay, well, what happens when LeBron and Steph retire? This is why viewership is down, because it's Zion Williamson and it's all these other guys who you can't hang on to because you don't know anything about them. And what you do know about them is not good news. It's all bad news. It's Zion and Anthony Edwards being massive seed spreaders. It's Ja Morant and his crazy dad fighting Shannon Sharp and making grenade symbolism, throwing grenades into the crowd. Like, there's nothing compelling about that. Nobody's lining up to buy Ja Morant's shoe. Nobody's lining up to buy Anthony Edwards' shoe. Like, if I said to you, Jake, who's that player that you have to watch? You come up with the young guy who you have to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know that there is a must-watch guy. I mean, I do agree that Anthony Edwards is entertaining. Ja, the stuff with Ja off the court has kind of ruined him for me. I mean, every time I look at him now, I'm thinking about, okay, well, when's the next controversy happening? When is the next issue or, problem going to come up with Ja? So like that kind of ruined him for me. I actually really enjoy SGA's game, but again, it's not appointment television. It's not must-watch TV. Like, I think in the playoffs right now, the must-watch TV is, tonight, Lakers and Wolves for sure. But that Knicks series, I think is must-watch. I think it's really entertaining basketball. I think MSG speaks for itself. I think the environment, the way they're officiating this series, like I am much more in the mindset and feeling of must-watch TV doesn't come down to players now. It comes down to how the series is going. Like, I'm not interested in watching the Heat lose by 51 to the Cavs in Game 4 when we knew you were going to lose the whole time. Like, I'm not watching that. Sorry, Don. You're not bringing me to the TV. Sorry, wannabe try-hard guy Tyler Hero. You're not bringing me to the TV. I'm sorry. You're not.
And I go back to this Giannis Tyrese Haliburton thing. Was anybody really lit up about Giannis and Tyrese Haliburton? Because I wasn't. I was not. All right, a couple more on the NBA. Then we got to get to Shadour real quick. Wasikowski, Pistons won, Tigers won. Great win for the Pistons. There is no question about that. That is I'll even go as far as to say that put the Knicks in jeopardy losing that game to the Pistons. Absolutely. And hey, did you see my guy Javi Baez swinging the bat? How about Javi Baez back from the dead? If you could have ever believed that. Backwoods sexy Mike Smith. I had to help give some of those silver bullet shots as a medic when stationed in Korea. Hey, is anybody watching The Pit? Dude, The Pit is sensational. The Pit on HBO Max. If you are not watching The Pit, you are missing compelling television.
What's it about?
It is about the emergency room in Pittsburgh. I can't remember the name of the hospital. Pittsburgh, an emergency room that's a trauma center in Pittsburgh. It's basically ER on steroids with Noah Wyle as the star. It's spectacular. It is so good. The point I was making was that more people are into streaming. I believe once ESPN offers their direct-to-consumer model, the NBA ratings will go up because more people will watch TV that way. Nielsen measures streaming. Now, by the way, but I agree that it's more and more difficult because you can get NBA games. I think you can get them on Amazon Prime now. Like, you can get NBA games in a number of places. So I don't disagree with you at all. Fat Jesus. Did we already talk about Jake's shirt? Is that salmon or coral?
You can leave, or you can stay and shut up and act like an adult.
Why is it that anytime one of us wears something that's not black, there's hell to pay for?
I was surprised. I didn't get a lot of flack yesterday for blue, but put on coral and all of a sudden,
Okay.
Okay, salmon, sorry.
It's pink.
My bad.
And listen, if my fat ass could rock pink, I would be rocking it. But there are contours in my body that you don't need to see.
It's got to know its limitations.
Right? I mean, I know what I know and who I know, and what I know is who I know and what I know of who I am.
Right.
Whatever the hell that meant.
Yeah.
Mike Smith says the Pit is killer. I love it. First medical show I have watched since House. Really good. Johnny Gonzalez, Jake's shirt looks like he wishes he was golfing right now, and don't we all? Yes.
I golfed well in this over the weekend.
No, you didn't. Cam Harrison, shout out to Mo Bamba.
Shout out to Mo Bamba.
Thank you. Welcome to the Nightmare. The Pit is phenomenal. It's already been renewed for a second season. It is amazing. Mike Smith, Mountain Mama. Leave Jake's shirt alone. Takes a true man to wear some colors and not be afraid of getting picked on.
Yeah, man, it is what it is. Someone's got to do it.
Cougar Tracks. My screen must be bad. It looks pink. I wasn't hating. No, you weren't hating. You were asking probative questions.
Probative.
You were voir diring.
Hugh Janus.
You were voir diring Jake's wardrobe. I'm here for it. Chewy Gonzalez. We all know it's white, and Jake accidentally washed it red shirt with it. I believe that's what happened.
Right. That's what happened, dude.
Wrong time of the month to wear white.
Yeah.
Noel Ramirez, I have to turn down the brightness on my laptop.
Hey,
See,
I'm sorry. I'm
you're
such a
causing
shining
people
star,
problems.
dude. I'm sorry.
That's not what he was saying.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Is that the shirt Jake wears when he looks at golfers' packages asking for a friend?
Hey, two holes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a very valid point. And the funny thing is, Jake has now sent me, not only has he sent me tight pants golfer guy, he's now sending me well holstered dogs. He is sending me.
Dude, I sent you a meme the other day
on Insta Snap Face. He's sending me schnauzers that have like phone poles dragging between their legs.
Caption is me if I was reincarnated.
I don't need that. This is not
the fact that the fan says, "Oh my," is still the best part.
This is not the life.
What are we doing?
That I need to live, right? It's not. And the look on my face every time Jake sends me a penis meme on Instagram, this is me. This is a live look at me right here.
Like my skin is curling.
Because he sends me like pretty much, you want to connect with Jake on Instagram, just get ready for porno penis.
Macaque.
Because that's what this is going to be. It's who he is.
And gorillas.
It's who he is. And now this loser won't stop sending me. Okay, well, listen. What if, and this is just
guys.
What if instead of one silverback, it's two macaques? One macaque like mine wouldn't get it done. Ho-ho! Because now all Jake is sending me is Insta Snap face memes of, one silverback versus 100 men.
I'm still a human.
No, you're not. You're not. And I don't know. Can I find one that's suitable to play? Right? Like it's Jake sending me stuff like this, where it's Arnold from Predator being disappointed because your ride or die backed out of the 1 versus 100 challenge. Right? Like that's what I'm getting. And I don't need it. Right? I don't need it.
That's funny as hell, dude. That's funny.
I mean, it might be funny, right? It might be funny, but it's Jake sending me videos of dudes not shooting guns. Well, it's the 1 versus me in the 100 versus 1 gorilla about to take out the gorilla, but then I remember Harambe. So now, not only is this dirty slob sending me photos of 1 versus 100, now it's a Harambe 1 versus 100 thing. Even though we already remember Harambe wasn't as good as the bullet. No, I don't. And he sends me ridiculous stuff like this.
Bro.
right? Me trying to be friends with the gorilla after he killed 100 of my homies. Right? So that's the life that I live now on social media, where Jake is sending me 1 versus 100 memes constantly. Like, get a life. Johnny Gonzalez, Insta Snapface has Monty accepted Bill's friend request that Jordan sent him on behalf of Chapel Bill. Exactly.
Hello, Instaface.
Chewy says the pink shirt golf bulges. Jake, it's time to come out, my dude.
Here I am.
You know.
Dude, you gotta have confidence to wear pink, bro. It's good for you.
Okay. That dude looks like he has a massive camel toe. Okay.
Okay. You know. All
I
right.
don't know. Reminds me of the gorilla scene with Clarence Beeks in Trading Places. Oh yeah, he's horny. There's no doubt about it.
Perhaps play a little game called Just a Tip.
Not with Harambe, I'm not. Have you ever seen Trading Places?
No.
No, yeah.
Whose fault is that, dude?
Not mine. You're all like shacked up and stuff.
I got the YouTube TV.
Yeah, you're a free man to watch great classics if you want. But you're too busy at, that girlfriend's home, rom-com time.
Dude, no, Mobland, dude. Tom Hardy. Paramount Plus, dude.
Mobland. What do you know about Mobland?
It's a great show, dude.
About Mobland.
Great show.
I know about Prize Picks. The renaissance of my Prize Picks life. Prize Picks, the official daily fantasy partner of the Monty Show. Download the app. Use the promo code Monty, M-O-N-T-Y. Open up a Prize Picks account. You deposit $5 in a new account. They'll give you 50 more. It's remarkable. It's remarkable. And I would just like to point out that last night, what did I say? Don't take Jake's advice.
What?
Monty,
What?
I said to myself, hey, Monty, you do you. You're really good at Prize Picks. It's when Mr. Coral Salmon, I would never wear pink guy shows up. Your Prize Picks goes to hell. So when I, such as in like, picked the Cubs to just absolutely beat wholesale ass, and you take Dansby for 2.5 total bases, and he yaks all over you. Home run for him. I win with Dansby. And then Shota Imanaga, 5 strikeouts, less. He had 3. Boom.
Boom. Out of here.
Boom. Out of here. And then, of course, because I never take Jake's advice on anything ever, I went back to the New York Yankees, man. And I got to tell you, Aaron Judge, 3.5 total bases. Yeah, he went yard.
Told you, one swing of the bat, dude.
3 for
Remember
3.
I told you?
No, 3 for 3 in baseball. Then, of course, I ignored Jake's wholesale wishes on the Pistons and Knicks. Now, this one admittedly was really tight. And as men, we've all been there. See, can't you just let me do? Can I just get the Prize Pick celebration out of the way without you being a child?
Listen, I'm not the one out here making references, okay?
Macaque.
Cade Cunningham, 38. Cade Cunningham, 38.
You got to get stroked.
38.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He had 40. Chicken dinner.
Biologics.
My guy, Jalen Brunson, 41.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I took less. He came up way short, 26.
Nice, dude.
Winning. And then, of course, because, well, you know, pimps are going to pimp, of course we went with the Nugs to go huge against Kawhi and the awkward laugh guy.
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon, 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He had 23 points, 4 boards, and 2 dimes. Chicken dinner, baby.
Yeah, it's lit.
$80 more in the Prize Picks account. It's that simple. It is that simple. And when we talk about LaChina James tonight, I'm sorry. When we talk about LaDad,
Let's wind the clocks back a year.
I got to tell you, LeBron's got some crazy numbers tonight.
I got him for more than one dunk tonight.
26.5 points, rebounds, and assists. His demon is 29.5 in an elimination game. Do you think Le Cap shows up tonight?
I do, but I'm terrible at this, allegedly.
You are awful at Prize Picks. His 3-point number is 5.5 3-pointers attempted. He's only done that once in this series. Like, it is a really tough night to pick Le Cap. It is. And I think the one you got to go with is free throws attempted. And I think you got to get more than 6.5. So I'm going that on Le Cap. And then Anthony Edwards, I think you got to go 40 points, rebounds, and assists, and you got to take less. Because I think they are going to I think they're going to find a way to shut him down. I think you got to go less than 40 points, rebounds, and assists.
Okay.
Which is going to be tough. I think it's going to be very tough. Which way do you who has a bigger night, LeBron or Ant?
I mean, from a Prize Picks perspective, probably Ant, but I mean, it just depends on the line you can get, obviously.
This is tough, man, because you've also got Steph Curry tonight. I mean, he screwed me the other night. 3-pointers attempted.
Mm-hmm.
His number is 12. He's only hit that once in this series. I think you got to go less than 12 3-pointers attempted, don't you?
Yeah.
Or is this the night where he goes freaky fast? That's a tough one. Do you guys buy into Steph Curry being that dude?
I went, instead of attempts, I went makes, 5.5 makes on a demon. I mean, if he's taking 13, 14 attempts, that would fall right in line with his
What
percentage.
about points in the first 5 minutes?
What's the number?
3. He
Oh,
has
I like
not
that.
scored a single point in the first 5 minutes of a game in this series.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I think I think this is where
That's a little surprising, dude.
I feel like I got to go less on Steph on 3-pointers. And then what about Fatty? Luka Dončić? Because he's got a demon of 34.5 points tonight. And he's hit it 2 out of the 4 games.
I think I've hit it every time.
I don't know that I can do that. 3-pointers attempted 10.
I think he's unreliable right now. That's the hard part.
I think if I look at, you can get some goblin action on him, but I think if you just go with 30.5, 29.5, like, I think it's really rough. 3-pointers made. What about 3-pointers made? 4.5. I think you go more. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go LeBron, LaChina, LaCap, 6.5 free throws attempted more. Steph Curry, 12 3-pointers attempted less. And Chubby Hookah, 4.5 3-pointers made more.
Okay.
$20 to win 190.
Nice.
That's where we're going.
Very nice, dude.
That's where we're going.
Bit nice.
I'm staying away from baseball tonight because last night was such a good night. See, like, I'm a little superstitious with that, right? Brandon Price says T-Wolves close out the series tonight. Lakers don't have enough depth. Totally agree. Johnny Gonzalez, if Prize Pick causes you pain, might want to call it pick pain instead of Prize Picks. It doesn't. Jake causes me pain. When I listen to Jake, I get pain.
Correct the mundo.
I'm kind of bummed because the whole NFL draft is over. Are you really bummed about that? I'm not. This is a fun day, not a I chose violence day. It is a fun day. I love it. Jorge Polanco on a solar flare right now.
Okay.
Backwoods sexy Mike Smith. Got to watch little-known movie called Yellowbeard, like a Monty Python movie, but not officially a Monty Python movie. Okay. Stadium Guy James. Jake did a great job analyzing the draft. He stepped up his game. He makes the show better. Oh. Are you guys back in textually? Are you textually engaged?
Nope.
Remember, Jake told James live on the show he loved him on the phone.
I say I'm just fired up to be here today.
Okay.
Nah, we are not textually engaged.
You're not? Okay.
Nope.
Well, why don't all you guys get textually engaged with Prize Picks? Download the Prize Picks app. Use the promo code Monty. You deposit $5 in a new Prize Picks account, they'll give you 50 more. Prize Picks, America's favorite daily fantasy app. Join the community. It's tens of millions of people. And it is so much fun to prize pick with your friends, with us.
Yes.
Like, do it. I'm telling you, it's amazing. Has Jake at least seen Monty Python?
Nope.
Not a chance. Not a chance. James trying to get that lovey-dovey talk back. I think he is. You guys, do you call him? You guys FaceTime before you fall asleep?
No, that's just not.
Gotten out of the routine on that one.
Yeah,
Delaric says, like casuals. Yes, we are pushing 1,000 views on the show and only 35 likes. I'm terrible at this. Yes, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. Hey, if you haven't found our audio podcast anywhere you get a podcast, Apple, iTunes, Google Play, although nobody uses Androids anymore. Right?
Yeah, I mean that's a crap device.
iHeart, you name it.
Garbage.
Just search the Monty Show podcast. It'll come up. We appreciate everybody's support. If you're watching on X right now, good afternoon to you. Come on over to YouTube. We appreciate you watching on X, Facebook, Insta, Snap, Face, and stuff. Join us on YouTube. Just search The Monty Show. Open a Google window and search The Monty Show. YouTube's the first thing that comes up. Give us a subscribe. Hit the like button. Join the community. Shall we get into this Shadour Sanders popularity thing? How popular is Shadour Sanders? Do you think he's way over the top popular? Like, would you say he is a star? Like, how would you describe his popularity?
Yeah, I think he's a star, whether people want him to be or not. I think because the draft only enhanced his stardom, I think it's the perfect ingredient in the Shadour Sanders cake, if you will. It is everything that he needed it to be, to have the comeback story, hey, everyone passed on me, everyone wanted to prank call me, everyone wanted to hate on me, everyone said it was daddy ball, everyone said I wasn't good enough, that whole deal. 143 people passed on me, I'm going to prove all of them wrong or whatever, that kind of thing. And honestly, I think it really just comes down to it's a matter of time. It really does depend on how it shakes out in Cleveland. If Joe Flacco gets hurt week 1 and Shadour, earns that backup spot, then who the hell knows what could happen? I mean, I'm a buyer. I think that the guy has the mentals. I think that, yes, there needs to be some adjustments made to how he plays the games in terms of, throwing the ball away, risk aversion, just those little things that quarterbacks have to manage and be accountable for. I think those are things he has to work on, but there's no question that the guy's a workhorse. His work ethic is incredible. He's already, if you're following along with his story, he did the Hill workout. He also went to a local school and spoke to kids. He's already in the facility. Like he's building a relationship with that community and takes it really seriously. And so I just think that, in the question of, hey, how popular is he? I think this guy's already one of the most popular players in the league. Honestly, I think he hasn't played a down of football in the NFL, and I think people are buying the hype. I think they're buying this kid's talent and his story and what he's about. And I think he understands that. And I think that Shadour Sanders, has benefited immensely from the process he went through under Prime in terms of making content and cameras always being around and always being in the middle of it. And so I think he just understands that, hey, I got to ball out on the field, but I also got to ball out in the community and really build that relationship so that, as they say in Gladiator, you got to win the crowd, dude.
I don't think anybody doubts his talent. Like, he is a ready-made NFL starter day one. And I don't know how many people will even argue with that. I think the expectation is he is going to pretty substantially beat out Dylan Gabriel. I think that's the expectation. And I don't think, now that we know the stories, you hear the stories, if you haven't, that he doesn't have an agent. There was no plan or forethought put into the interviews with the NFL teams. He allegedly sandbagged or tanked interviews with certain teams because he didn't want to go and play there. And that got around, and that is what is being singularly attributed to his slide, his historic tank in the NFL draft.
Yeah.
Nobody is saying he can't play, that he's not a good NFL prospect, that he isn't, because I think everybody pretty much agrees that the guy is as good as any quarterback that was drafted. He is as capable as a starting quarterback as any rookie in this league is. And frankly, I think what you're seeing out of Shadour only backs up what everybody said. He's a professional. When it comes to football stuff, he's a professional. He's well prepared. He is always in shape. Like you're seeing now. But what is his level of popularity? Because I got to tell you, the stat that was put out today by Darren Ravel, this is pretty surprising. That the 144th pick in the NFL draft now has the best-selling jersey of anybody in the draft. Shadour Sanders now has the number one selling jersey of anybody in this NFL draft. That's wild. He plunges all the way to 144. And yet the story only gets bigger and better.
Yeah, I don't think most people believe, like the casual fan, if you will, like the person who's already bought his jersey and everything. I don't think they believe he fell because of the interviews. I think there's a conspiracy out there that owners blacklisted him and, you know, that there's this narrative against him. And that's part of why his jersey sale numbers are doing really well, because people want to support him. You know, but I also think there's a whole side of it where people just like the kid, think he's going to be a good player and want his jersey before he ever steps on the field.
Like him or hate him. I don't think I've run into anybody who's like, nah, I'm indifferent. You either like him or you hate Shadour. You think he's a good quarterback or you think he sucks. I think one of the amazing things that we've seen on this show over the last week is that people are like, oh, his stats are terrible. His stats are not terrible. They're elite. Oh, well, his mechanics are terrible. Well, as it turns out, everybody in the NFL disagrees with you that his mechanics suck.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of the he can't play football stuff that fans were throwing around, complete garbage, because we like to beat people up. I think it's in this world and where we currently are in the climate of this planet, we love to beat people down.
Yes.
We love to be a fan in Cleveland and tell, you know, a baseball player that he should go and murk himself. Oh, we think that's cool. I'm a hard ass, right? Like, well, actually, it's not. Like this Jeff Ulbrich story with his kid, and they're apologizing because his kid stole Shadour's number off of his dad's iPad and thought it would be funny to prank call Shadour Sanders, and I think others, in my opinion, because this prank calling thing spread across the NFL.
Yeah, it's kind of blown up
a ton of these draft picks got prank calls. I'm amazed that here we have the defensive coordinator of the Atlanta Falcons having to issue an apology.
First of all, I'd like to publicly apologize to Shadour and the Sanders family for what occurred. Second of all, I want to publicly apologize to Mr. Blank, Terry Fontenot, Raheem Morris, and the entire Falcons organization. My actions of not protecting confidential data were inexcusable. My son's actions were absolutely inexcusable. And for that, we are both deeply sorry. The NFL has taken action, and I fully respect the punishment. We take full responsibility, my son and myself, and we will not be appealing the fine in any way. Going forward, I promise my son and I will work hard to demonstrate we are better than this. Again, I'm deeply sorry for our actions.
That doesn't make it right. I don't care that they fined you $100,000. That is, bro, that's French fry money for you.
Mm-hmm.
$250,000 the Falcons were fined. How many 2x4s did they just sell to cover that money at Home Depot?
Yeah.
Right? Because Arthur Blank, Home Depot. Anyway, my point is, that's not a punishment. I appreciate that Ulbrich got up there and apologized, but let's be really honest what his kid did. He played a part in causing Shadour Sanders pain on what was one of the most important days of that guy's life. And I think we all think it's funny, and I think Jeff Ulbrich should have been terminated. You put NFL proprietary data at risk. You ruin the draft day of at least one and maybe many more. Like, why is this okay?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, I don't. It's not okay. I think the NFL did what they had to do. You know, I think, yeah, it's chump change to them, but it's still 250 G's. You know, I mean, it's not like it's not like it's 10 G's. You know, I mean, that's a lot of money. Not to them,
is it though? I mean,
yeah, on you know, just hey, is $250,000 a lot of money? Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Me and you, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, but like there's standard penalties in the league. I don't disagree. It's not a lot of money to them, but in general, 100 G's and 250 G's, that's a lot of money because you left your iPad on the counter and were irresponsible. And
again, my opinion is I don't think he left his iPad on the counter. I think my opinion is Ulbrich had to play some role in the execution of that prank call. And I don't know who prank called the other.
Yeah.
Like Abdul Carter got a prank call. And I like, this is, I don't want to be the master of the obvious. Do you understand how hard it is to get to where Abdul Carter and Shadour Sanders were at that moment?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how much pain Shadour Sanders must have felt and gone through waiting 143 other names to be called? The embarrassment, the humiliation, the stories that are coming out about him. We've completely forgot that these are human beings. They're not, you know, these robots that have an on-off switch every Sunday afternoon. And I just don't think it's good enough.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good enough. I don't. And the conversation about, is he a bust or a bomb or, okay, I'm happy to have that. The idea that it's okay to prank call him and make him think he's being drafted by a team, and I think it's criminal what they did to him. And I think it's guys like Brett McMurphy from Action Network. It's criminal, the stuff that you're putting out. I don't know. I'm probably going too far with it. But it's disgusting to me.
Yeah.
How people take pride in tearing other people down.
Yeah, that's what I agree with. I mean, there's, you know, in reality, what they did isn't a crime, right? But like, it is the worst of the worst that you could do. Like, it is despicable. It is awful. It is terrible. And you know, I think that my hope is, just for the record, my hope is that Shadour Sanders comes into this league and dominates and has a massive crow sandwich to feed the Ulbrichs and, you know, the Brett McMurphys and all the people who hate on him, man. Because there's a whole pile of you people out there that are all in the same camp, dude, that are hating on him and saying he sucks and he's
rooting
terrible,
for him to fail.
And why was his number retired? And I throw all of you guys in the same crowd, dude.
It's daddy ball. Why is he in Cleveland working out already? He could be in Boulder or in Texas where they live. Why is he visiting schools? Why is he walking into a restaurant and paying people's checks? Because he's trying to get ingratiated in the community. He's doing what people should be doing when you're the half. He's not the 1% in Cleveland. Shadour Sanders financially is the 0.5%. He's the 1% of the 1%. And he's acting like that. It's just very interesting. All right, let's see. Lopes fan gave for $5. The only issue most people should have with Shadour is absolutely nothing because they've likely never even met him. Let this kid live. That's what I'm saying. Like the hate that we put out on athletes. And I am a big believer in my life. I hate the Chicago White Sox. But Do I actually like hate their players and their no? It's to me, sports is not personal like that.
Excluding Bobby Jenks, of course.
But of course. But so many people quite literally hate Shadour Sanders. And I'll never understand it.
Yeah.
I'll never I'm being redundant now, but the work that it takes to get to where he is, that's not daddy ball. That is not daddy ball.
Yeah.
That is busting your ass is what that is.
Totally agree.
Eric Wasikowski, Matt Petgrave will not face charges for Adam Johnson. No, he will not. No, he will not. Replica, because the league was in on it. Yeah, I don't know about that. I think that why did a defensive coordinator have Shadour Sanders' number on an iPad? Readily available, not hard to steal off the screen. What sense does it make that that's what happened? That makes no sense.
I think the proper way to propose that or pose that is Jeff Ulbrich has every player's number on his iPad. I'm sure they have a system for that on the iPad, right? As like a coach in the league or a coordinator or whatever. I'm sure that there's I'm sure they've got an app or something that's your contacts, every player's phone number or something, a way to get to them or whatever. The question is, how does your son get access to that? Why is the iPad at home? Why is the iPad leaving the facility, that particular iPad? Why, you know what I mean? There's not a lot of ways to get around the fact that Jeff would have had to allow access to the iPad. And that's the problem. And that's why I don't give a damn if you're apologizing, if your kid apologized. It's completely inexcusable. It's completely unprofessional. And honestly, it's why I lose respect for guys, because I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Tyreek Hill, Anthony Edwards, Jeff Ulbrich, Bill Belichick, Aaron Rodgers. I don't care who you are. You are making decisions and you think you can do things because you're a millionaire, and that's not true. That is not true.
Conundrum says, if he wasn't Deion's kid, I wouldn't know him. If he wasn't Deion's kid, he wouldn't be on Earth. What does that even mean? So you're saying if he was the exact same player he is, but his dad was not Deion Sanders, he would not be in this position? I think you're crazy. If he was the exact same entity that he is now, he'd still be one of the best quarterbacks in college football. He'd still be one of the best quarterbacks in that draft.
Yeah.
On what level? When do we give Shadour Sanders credit for not being just some terrible quarterback who can't complete a pass? That's the thing. This kind of statement is what's amazing to me. On what planet do you live that he only got to be the starting quarterback and the projected, number 2 quarterback off the board because his dad is Deion Sanders? But then let's flip the script and, he didn't get drafted and he slid down the board because his dad's Deion Sanders. So is it because of Deion Sanders or is it because of Deion Sanders? Right? You can't have it both ways. And I think with Shadour, there's so many people who want to blame Deion. Shadour Sanders is an adult, and I agree he's under the influence of Deion Sanders. And clearly not having an agent is a huge mistake, in my opinion. I will continue to tell every athlete who doesn't want to pay agent fees, you're an idiot. Because you should have been probably picked in the top 5 and you wound up 144 because you didn't have a plan going into those interviews, allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Deion Sanders' fault? Maybe he played a role in it. But nothing here. And nobody in the NFL is saying, I didn't like the way he threw the football. Those mechanics. Holy cow. That never happened. Mel Kiper turned the draft into the Shadour Sanders show. He was very responsible for it. He was one of a couple of guys defending Shadour.
Yeah.
J. Trey, Shadour is more infamous than popular. Well, I don't know how many people buy infamous jerseys, but I would say he's pretty popular.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're spending more than you're spending a couple $100 to get a Shadour Sanders jersey, I'm going to say you're pretty popular. Mel Kiper was crying hard. It's not crying. And this is the thing I don't understand about sports fans. Do you think Mel Kiper is like emotionally upset that Shadour Sanders didn't get drafted? It's an analytics thing. He's an analyst using analytics, data, and videotape to form an opinion.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
And it's amazing to me how many people, like Eric constantly is ripping people who don't agree with you. Mel Kiper's not crying about anything. He's too busy admiring his beautiful home and the 30-year career he's had at ESPN analyzing draft picks. I don't think he's crying about anything. Conundrum says Shadour's an NFL project. Well, you're the only one saying that because he's not a project. If he's a project, what is Cam Ward? What is Tyler Shook? What is Jalen Milroe? All of them were drafted ahead of him.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with on the field. Nothing. Nothing at all. Shadour is not a star. He's famous through celebrity nepotism. Okay, so he's not a good quarterback. Nepotism meaning he's only famous because of
you
his
guys
dad.
better hope this dude sucks.
You had better hope he never plays well.
You better hope he never sees the field this year, dude.
I mean, it's amazing. Mel will pick a player every year and die on that hill. He will. He will. You know. Was it Brady Quinn he said would retire if he was not a superstar by year 3? I'm sure maybe it was. You know. It's fine. I am amazed how many people just don't have like calling Shadour Sanders a project.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea what you're talking about?
No.
So he's not ready to step in and play in the NFL right now. And I would remind you, I don't think any rookie quarterback is. There's few and far between. Do you think he's more ready than Quinn Ewers? Dylan Gabriel? Dylan Gabriel, pre-draft, doesn't even grade out by most scouts as a starting quarterback in the NFL. Jalen Milroe doesn't grade out as a starting quarterback in the NFL. But Shadour's the that's amazing to me. That's amazing to me. And again, like one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. It is quite literally, I think it is the stupidest argument I've ever heard on Shadour Sanders. Like it lacks any common sense. And it tells me that you just hate the guy. Bringing up that he was 13-12 in Big 12 play. Dude, I know you're not stupid. So you're either a racist or you just hate him. There's no other argument for it. It is quite literally the dumbest, most uninformed take I've ever heard on Shadour Sanders. It's remarkable to me. It is remarkable to me. The whole quarterback draft was wild. I mean, Graham Cracker Mertz before Quinn Ewers. It's crazy to me. Crazy to me that Tyler Shook was drafted before Shadour Sanders. And the schism, the divide in talent between the two is wild.
Yeah.
Wild. Mike Smith, quarterbacks get blamed for losses and credits for wins. Just depends on what side of the argument. No, it does not depend on what side of the argument you're on. And if you're going to listen, if you're going to analyze Shadour Sanders or any other quarterback, and anybody who credits quarterbacks when teams win and blames them when they lose, don't listen to them. Turn their shit off immediately because they don't know anything about football. Nothing. Nobody with any credibility, nobody who's ever been around the game is going to tell you that a quarterback is responsible for winning and losing. Unless it's, hey, like the Russ don't give it to Marshawn Lynch at the goal line.
Mm-hmm.
Did he get blamed for that loss? No, he did not. Who got blamed for that loss? Pete Carroll got blamed for that loss. In Colorado specifically, the reason it is the stupidest thing I have ever heard is because I think routinely the things that are used to define Shadour Sanders are that he's Deion's kid. I think the flashy gold watch, young black guy with money and affluence, like how many times did we hear, culture with Shadour Sanders?
Yeah.
Right? Like we heard, they don't like the flashy watch thing. Well, but why aren't we saying that about the other kids who are driving Ferraris and Lamborghinis and, right? Like the idea that when you look at Shadour Sanders and you evaluate his play on a level playing field, what does he do well? What does he do bad? And how responsible is he for the outcome of those wins and losses? He is as non-responsible as any QB has ever been for what his team won and lost. In fact, I would tell you, without him, with any other quarterback, and we saw this when they were hurt, when Shadour Sanders didn't play, how did that team do? Not well at all. Yet when he plays and he stayed healthy, they had minor upgrades on the offensive line. But most of his wide receivers were hurt. They didn't have a running game. And they were competing to win the Big 12. Why weren't we touting him as the reason they were competing to win the Big 12? Where were you then saying he was 13-12? Well, because you can't say that at Colorado. Like if you look at who's a team that won in Penn State, Drew Aller. He played a huge role. Notre Dame with Riley Leonard. Cannot trust him to throw the football in big situations. Cannot trust him. Why did Ohio State go as far as they did? But why did they lose to Oregon? Because Will Howard wasn't ready at the end of a one-possession, very close game at Autzen. But he was really good all through the playoffs. It's crazy to me that we want to say 13-12, I'm not drafting him. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It just tells you. And Eric, I think you know football based on outside of what you say about Michigan, because I think, again, you're just a homer who will never say anything critical of them. But when we talk about the Lions or when we talk about NFL or other college stuff, you're generally fine.
You're a homer is the first part.
We get to Michigan, and I don't know, has anybody seen Ferris Khan? Probably should do a wellness check on him. But then you show up and you say stupid stuff like 13-12, can't draft him. Like you hate Shadour Sanders. You might hate, and I don't know why you hate him. Probably because he's Deion's kid. And like I said, it's you're either in that group that's like, the culture problem, which turned out to be complete BS and not true, or you just don't like him and you want to talk about nepotism. Which one is it? Because I'm gonna guess, Eric, that you either did not watch any Colorado football, but
it's kind of hard to miss.
It's kind of hard to miss. So, yeah, and I didn't want to point this out because I don't, Eric, you, sir, are a Trump racist fit. What has that got to do with anything? What does his politics have to do with a football conversation? I hate that. You can't blame a quarterback for losing unless it's Kyler Murray. That's right, because he's too short to see over the offensive line.
My bad.
Probably should keep going. I can't blame Kyler for any loss because of his conditioning.
It's tough, dude.
I'm not going to be baited. Do you even lift? I'm not going to be baited into playing the Kyler Murray weightlift.
Pick it up.
I won't do it. I'm not going to play Kyler Murray.
Is this another David Goggins video?
Stay hard.
Could Kyler Murray could this version of Kyler Murray survive David Goggins?
Cool. Come on, boys.
Okay, there it is. I give Kyler look at the face on Kyler.
Stay hard.
Let's go, Kyler. I mean, and look at that. He's lifting with the safeties.
Ass to grass, dude.
You know, it just is what it is. To Shadour credit, he has David Carr syndrome his first year at Colorado. Dude, his first year at Colorado, that cat didn't have an offensive line. I think, and I should probably double check it, but there's a stat. He was pretty, I believe he had less time from snap to first pressure. I believe they were dead last in college football. Like from the time that the ball was snapped until he was pressured by the defense, especially in his first year, I believe they were dead last in college football. It's ridiculous. I think some were actually trying to roll back the child labor laws, and it might be for Kyler. It could be. Absolutely could be. No doubt. Come on. J-Trey. Shadour flaunted his material wealth as a way to elevate himself above others. I think it's a genius reason to dislike his character. Why should we
know? Hold on. How do you know that?
And why are we shaming rich people now?
What do you mean he's flaunting his material wealth to put others down? What evidence do you have of that? Like, is that just your interpretation?
His material wealth to elevate him above others. That's how you see it. But again, and I ask this question all the time on this show. Why do we want to shame the rich in this country?
I got news for you guys. And you can call me an a-hole if you want. If I had a Lambo, people'd know about it. People know about it. You'd see it because it's something to celebrate.
You are talking about a guy in Shadour who has busted his ass to get to where he is. And we're just supposed to somehow now shame him because he's flaunting his material wealth. That's what we're supposed to do now.
I forgot. You just mistyped your comment. Your comment was supposed to say you were jealous.
He's 23 years old and a multimillionaire. And we're supposed to shame him. Why aren't we celebrating that?
Like,
why aren't we celebrating 23-year-old multimillionaires
playing in the NFL,
achieving at an incredibly high level in life? Why are we knocking that? I will never understand that. I will never understand it. That's wild to me that's what we're thinking. That's crazy. Any last minute prize picks before the games, boy? Well, you tell me what. You tell me what. In the NBA, here are our prize picks for tonight. We talked about it a few minutes ago, but I'm happy to espouse my greatness.
Look, Shadour, take it easy.
LeBron, more than 6.5 free throw attempts. Steph Curry, less than 12 3-pointers attempted. And Luka Dončić, more than 4.5 3-pointers made.
Oh,
that's what
is that a demon?
Yeah, that's a demon.
Okay, so we have the same players, different lines though. Because I have LeBron for more than 1 dunk.
Okay.
Luka for more than 3.5 3-pointers made, and Steph for more than 5.5 3-pointers made. So same guys, just different lines.
What do you have on prize picks tonight? Ooh, do tell. Let's see. But we know Jakey A-hole has a Subi.
Yeah.
Look, again, you're not going to bully me into playing things on this show. And just because Jake drove through, that was Bryce Canyon.
Mm-hmm.
Just because Jake drove through Bryce Canyon, catless, you shouldn't shame him for that.
And with all due respect.
Actually, you probably should. Gumby says Subi Slurper.
Yeah, dude.
You know. Oh God. Brandon Butler. If J2H had a Lamborghini every national park,
you're damn right. You're damn right. You're damn right. Yep.
Oh, the bison do not sleep in Yellowstone.
Here I am.
Wasikowski, when 95% of people agree on one thing, my spidey senses go off.
So then what's
95% of people do not agree that he's at fault for being 13 and 12.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Dude, you're better than that. It's an asinine take.
You are being so stubborn, Eric, about this. It's incredible.
And see, again, I don't have a dog in the Shadour fight. I got my stud quarterback in Caleb Williams. And I say, Caleb, you want to nuzzle your mom's bosoms and cry after losses last year?
With your nails painted? It's
Get
great.
it. And yeah, and she'll paint your nails. Get it out now. Get it out now.
Do you want to consult with Riley Leonard and have your mom text you that you suck too? Would that help?
You know, I got my guy. Shadour's success or failure does not impact my life one way or the other. So I don't get all wound up in, oh, well, the shoes and the clothes and the cars. I don't care. Why aren't we saying the same thing about Travis Hunter? Oh, because he's not Deion's kid.
Well, hold on, though. He's 13 and 12.
He is.
Right?
He is.
Okay.
Overrated.
Not a
What a
not a
bust.
generational talent.
What
He's
a
terrible.
bust.
Yeah, awful.
And he got hurt last year. Soft. But we don't say that.
He's an entitled kid. He got hurt, wouldn't play hurt. You know, what an idiot.
You know. I just think it is what it is. Let's see. He wasn't even the best player on his own team. No, he wasn't. No, he was not. Gumpy's like, yes. I'm here to serve you guys. Zona Tucson. I'm not a fan of Colorado, but respect what Coach Sanders is doing there. I root for the success of his kids. So do I. I think Deion Sanders is one of the great stories in football.
Yeah.
And see, again, this goes back to LeBron and remember the LeBron Bronny, he's taking a spot. It's nepotism. He's only okay.
Yeah,
cool.
Daddy Ball got Bronny drafted.
Hey, cool. They've earned it. LeBron has earned that. No problem. Did he take somebody else's job on the Laker bench? No, because he's the last dude sitting at the end of the bench. He never plays. But you would think that cat's like the sixth man off the bench. And he's playing, so Dalton Knecht can't. That's just not the case. LeBron and Bronny made history, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy to see Shadour walking with his dad and Shiloh walking with his dad on senior day. Fantastic.
Yeah.
You had your number retired at your university before you ever played in the NFL? Dude, awesome. Congratulations. That's amazing. But instead, I want an investigation. Like, why can't we just be happy for the fact that LeBron and his kid got to sell? Oh, you're probably jealous. Why can't we be happy that the Sanders family is realizing generational wealth? Oh, because you're not. That's what we do in this world. Why can't we be happy for LeBron that he's the first multi-billionaire athlete? Oh, that's because that's what we do. We refuse to be happy for people. I love those videos. So does Jake. And his ex-girlfriend who shot it for it. That girl was crazy, Jake. God damn. Just like Kipe dies on the hill for a draft pick, so does Eric. Exactly. Exactly. But you know what? I don't. I told you the story of my a-hole brother and our dinner that was ruined, and we don't talk politics on this show because we're not able to talk politics in this country. Go flip on ABC or CBS or CNN or Fox News.
Well, Fox, because they're the only credible ones.
Go flip on some of the news channels. You won't get through 5 minutes because it's depressing as hell.
Yeah.
That's why we don't talk politics. You know how many people are like, oh, dude, hey, what are your thoughts on the economy and the tariffs? We don't talk about it. because people can't have common sense exchanges of ideas unless those ideas that they're getting back match theirs. Because if they don't, there's hell to pay. Like the Pac-12 yesterday. We did an hour on the Pac-12. And you would have thought we kicked somebody's dog. You'd have thought we banged their mom. Because people, like, it's, okay. Like, it's wild to me that even in sports, we can't have common sense conversations about LeBron's place in history because he's the reason attendance and TV viewership is down. And then you present them with facts. Well, actually, the Lakers series with the Timberwolves is doing smashing success numbers.
Oh, Kathy disappeared all of a sudden.
Well,
interesting.
It's what we do. Sergeant Morhew, hello. Leave the dogs and hot moms alone. Well, but again, I'm only a dog because the hot moms won't leave me alone.
Yes.
They want the product, man. Who am I to say no?
MILF Hunter.
Where's Teddy Wayman when you need him? It's because most people just want to prove that they are correct, then find solutions to a problem. Because we don't talk, we argue. And we don't listen because we're just thinking of what we're going to say next instead of listening. We don't do that stuff. Anyway, interesting conversation there. I'm glad that we were able to get that out. And Bill's glad that she can get it out because there's more Bill Belichick issues.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that.
And more drama right here on the Monty Show. Here's a question for you. And this sounds crazy. It is. But people are asking for Bill Belichick to be fired because of his girlfriend. Should North Carolina fire Bill Belichick? We'll talk about that in 30 seconds.
You're not just a case. You're not just a client. You're a person, and you deserve support. You deserve simplicity. You deserve communication. When you hire an attorney, you deserve clear, risk-free advice that guides you to the best possible outcome in your injury case. And that's exactly what the advocates have been providing for over 30 years. After your accident, you deserve closure. You deserve compassion. You deserve peace of mind. You deserve an advocate.
Yes, you do. Advocates.com. Chat with an injury attorney. Live online, and it won't cost you a dime. 24/7, 365 at theadvocates.com. And the thing that I always tell you about the advocates is they understand when you are looking for an injury attorney, it's likely one of the worst days of your life. I watched The Pit. I know what car accidents are about. Nothing? Okay. No. Anyway, the advocates understand it's one of the worst days of your life. So they operate with compassion, humility. They meet you where you need to be met. Are you in the hospital and you want to talk to an attorney right now? Hey, let's get on FaceTime. Let me get on the phone. Let me come down there and spend some time with you. Right? Let them take the claims process. You worry about getting healthy. You worry about getting better sleep. Let the advocates take the claims process. Let them fight the insurance companies. Because let me tell you, your insurance company is going to fight because they're not fighting for you. They're fighting for their shareholders. They're trying not to pay you. The advocates will make sure you get the best outcome possible, and you never reach into your pocket to pay the advocates because you don't pay the advocates unless and until they win your case. Chat with an injury attorney live online at theadvocates.com. More Bill Belichick drama. And this story just seems to be blooming on an hourly basis as Bill Belichick now tries to contain the disastrous CBS interview that happened on CBS this morning over the weekend to publicize his book. And it has gotten anything but better. In fact, it has gotten worse. And this is the bite that everybody is talking about.
The other change for Belichick is 24-year-old Jordan Hudson, his creative muse, as he writes in his book.
Make sure that that's the
Jordan was a constant presence during our interview.
You have Jordan right over there. Everybody in the world seems to be following this relationship. They've got an opinion about your private life. It's got nothing to do with them, but they're invested in it. How do you deal with that?
never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
No?
No.
It's a topic neither one of them is comfortable commenting on.
And again, that's from CBS Sunday Morning. He's wearing a torn Navy sweatshirt. Is she wearing pants? And I'm sure she is.
Asking for a friend.
But it looks like she's wearing a sweatshirt that makes it so big it looks like she's not wearing pants. It's so unprofessional to me. And he is so pissed that he released this statement. I agreed to speak with CBS Sunday Morning to promote my new book, The Art of Winning: Lessons from My Life in Football. On sale now, Amazon.com. Prior to this interview, I clearly communicated with my publicist at Simon & Schuster that any promotional interviews I participated in would agree to focus solely on the contents of the book. Unfortunately, that expectation was not honored during this interview. And he goes on to talk about how some of the clips make it appear as though we were avoiding the question of how we met. But we have been open about the fact that Jordan and I met on a flight to Palm Beach in 2021. And it goes on. It's this long, long sonnet about they edited it. They wanted to make her look bad. We met on this plane.
The final 8-minute segment does not reflect the productive 35-minute conversation we had. Instead, it presents selectively edited clips and stills from just a few minutes of the interview to suggest a false narrative that Jordan was attempting to control the conversation, which is simply not true. Okay.
I just feel like it's one of these things where we can't even have a normal dialogue with a head coach, because no matter where that head coach goes, Jordan Hudson is there. And you look at their online persona, it's cool, hip, and nice until you find out that Jordan Hudson reportedly killed Hard Knocks at North Carolina football. She played a significant role in declining Hard Knocks. And in fact, during the process of trying to set that up, said that she was the COO of Bill Belichick's production company, according to reports. I mean, what role does this girl play in his life? They're not married.
After this occurred several times, Jordan, with whom I share both a personal and professional relationship with, this is where me and Bill Belichick part company. You don't get to have it both ways,
No,
Bill.
you don't.
You don't get to reference Simon & Schuster and then say you have a personal and professional relationship with your girlfriend. That doesn't work. That's not how business is done. Stop telling me that CBS is responsible for making you look like your girlfriend's protecting how you guys met, even though the timeline with which how you guys met and the signed book and everything doesn't really add up, Bill. You're playing with fire here, Bill. You don't understand the type of game you're playing here. You think that you can put out statements from, North Carolina at Chapel Hill. This has nothing to do with UNC. Let's be really, really clear. What I don't like about what Bill Belichick is doing here is threefold. Number one, don't like that you put out the statement under the cover of North Carolina. North Carolina's got nothing to do with this book. North Carolina's got nothing to do with your girlfriend. North Carolina is your employer. You're the head coach for UNC football. That's your job. That's not who you are, right? Who you are now is an author, apparently. Who you are now is someone who doesn't establish boundaries with your girlfriend, apparently. Who you are now is unprofessional in regards to this interview, apparently. So when I saw this come out, and I saw that you decided to take the angle of, it's CBS's fault and quote, the final 8-minute segment does not reflect the productive 35-minute conversation we had. I'm sorry. Let's point out another double standard. You just said earlier in this statement that that hey, Jordan is professional and personal, and it was made very clear that this interview was supposed to be about the book. But now you're saying later in the statement that actually it wasn't a bad interview. They just cut it wrong and it makes us look bad. And it was a productive 35-minute conversation. So which is it? Was it not communicated correctly that you were only supposed to get questions about the book? By the way, did you think that sitting down for an interview for the first time in like God knows how long, did you think that nobody was going to ask you questions about your career and your life and all of that? Like, come on.
Oh, by the way, CBS is not taking this laying down. They issued a statement today that said, quote, when we agreed to speak with Mr. Belichick, it was for a wide-ranging interview. There were no preconditions or limitations to this conversation. This was confirmed repeatedly with his publisher before the interview took place and after it was completed.
Also,
said a CBS No spokesperson.
Want to point out in this statement here, because I think it matters. It's not UNC head football coach, Mr. Belichick. It's just Mr. Belichick.
Well, and I think it's worth noting that, again, my experience comes in here. Having been a talent booker, somebody who books guests like Bill Belichick on CBS News, and having been part of a team that interviews people like this, no news organization worth their salt is going to agree to preconditions. It is going to be, this would be like, pick what's an infamous news story of recent, Bill Clinton. I'm not going to, hey, you want to do an interview about your book? Sure. But I'm not going to talk about Monica Lewinsky.
Well, then we're not doing
the interview. And I can tell you only so many times that exact topic has come up. I cannot tell you how many people that we had on, again, I go back to Jim Rome's show. I can think of, and I can't think of her last name, the volleyball player, Gabrielle Reese. Gabrielle Reese does a spread in Playboy magazine. And she's coming on the show to promote that and other things. And she was at the time married to a guy named Laird Hamilton. They're still married, but they were going through a difficult situation. And I was the one who was dealing with Playboy because we regularly had guests from them because they always had on like actors and entertainers and sports.
Super relevant at that time.
Playboy magazine,
yeah.
And Playboy Entertainment.
Yes.
And so she said in a pre-interview, because when we would put guests on his show, we would spend 15, 20 minutes on the phone with them saying, hey, let's talk about this. What are your thoughts on this? What do you want to promote? And she said, nah, I don't want to talk about my marriage situation. And Jim would not have her on unless she talked about it. Because a big part of her life at that time was she was isolating and she was dealing with a lot of difficult situations, trauma. And that was a major part of the spread in Playboy and a major part of the talking points. So when Bill Belichick comes on, CBS News is never, ever going to say, we're not going to, well, okay, we agree not to ask you about you and your girlfriend. What are you going to ask him about that's any more relevant than his girlfriend? Because I'm telling you, his girlfriend is far more relevant than North Carolina football. And you might not like that, but that's the reality of it. In the TMZ world we live in, his girlfriend is going to get you more clicks on a video on social media and your website than North Carolina football will.
And let's be real. You compounded this issue by bringing your girlfriend, your publicist, your girlfriend to the interview dressed in her pajamas. Like, bro, what are we doing? Like, this is my problem. We were texting about this earlier. I said, dude, I've lost a ton of respect for Bill Belichick. I've lost respect for you. Number one, take all the drama out of it. You showed up to an interview in a ripped up Navy crew neck.
And again,
sorry, dude.
She showed up and I'll play the clip again.
Yeah, play it again.
Because I want you to understand, look at the way that Jordan Hudson is dressed in this in this clip right here.
The other change for Belichick is 24-year-old Jordan Hudson, his creative muse, as he writes in his book.
Make sure that that's the.
Jordan was a
at that
constant
right there.
presence during our interview.
You have Jordan.
She's wearing a sweatshirt that makes it look like she's not wearing any pants. I would never show up like that. But again, we're in a different time. I totally get that. That's your girlfriend right there. There is no line where people are like, okay, CBS News, we're not in girlfriend mode right now. She's the CEO of my production company. Yeah, the girlfriend thing, yeah, that doesn't happen for another 37 minutes. So yeah.
What's a bigger issue
like
as far as Bill Belichick's reputation and his character? The fact that he showed up the way he did, or the fact that the person that apparently, by his own words, is representing him in a professional manner, in addition to being his girlfriend, shows up the way she showed up? This is my problem, man. And this is what we do now. You don't want to talk about the most relevant portions of your life. It'd be like me rolling up to the show and being unwilling to talk about things in my personal life that you guys would find fascinating, or being unwilling to get into something. Like, that's not how this works, man. Like, I get it. Like, you don't want to be vulnerable, and you don't want to get into every little thing. But the problem is, and this is really what I find fascinating. The question wasn't, hey, did you cheat on your wife when you met Jordan? That wasn't the question. The question was just simply, how did you guys meet? And you know what I have to say? They asked that question damn well knowing what the story was as to how you met. They were giving you runway to control the narrative, to talk about it, to vocalize the story, to have something positive and redeeming in that portion of your life. But we can't do that now because your girlfriend, your publicist or your assistant, stepped in and got super defensive and is running from something.
Well, and it's like, part of the love story is a big part of his life.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. Look at this comment. This is spot on. That's like saying Jake saying he'll be interviewed, but won't talk about his salmon shirt. What else is there to talk about?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
You know, that'd be like Calford showing up and not donating 20 Monty show members yet. Let's go, Calford. Appreciate that always, you stud.
It is. Listen, it's one thing in terms of how I feel about it and why this bothers me. It's one thing if people who always do this, like politicians or whoever you want to look to, people who are infamous for doing this, it's one thing if they keep doing it. We know who you are. We know what to expect. I don't expect this out of Bill Belichick. I expect, honestly, in a personal interview like this, in a more personable setting, in a sit down with CBS that's super professional, I expect you to show up in a collared shirt
with
or
a North Carolina logo on it.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what I expect. I don't expect you. Like, I honest to God feel like what happened here is Jordan said, okay, cool. We're going to sit down with CBS. We're not going to talk about
hoodie guy. You're hoodie guy.
You're a hoodie guy. And Bill, I know that you just walked out of the closet wearing the UNC drip with some slacks and you got a shoe game going and you look nice. But yeah, we're going to have to throw on this ripped hoodie thing because that's what Gen Z would like. No, dude, actually, it doesn't matter. There's a standard here. And what bothers me is Bill Belichick is no longer the Bill Belichick of Patriot Land.
That's right.
Bill Belichick is no longer the same guy that was the Hall of Fame head coach for the Patriots. He no longer has that mystique, that certain aura about him. Like, I looked forward to it every week, dude. Well, it's true though.
Yeah.
Was the guy not like at one point with Tom at the height of their power? Was he not walking on water at one point, dude?
Tommy.
Like, this guy was a legend.
Yeah, and we like the press conference clips, and it's all part of it. Gumby says Jake in a salmon shirt, Jakey upstream.
Okay.
Woodworth says Jakey 2 holes and 5 guys. The math just doesn't math. Dude.
I know, dude.
I want 5 guys desperately.
This is a tasty burger.
And I probably shouldn't say that out loud that I want 5 guys because Jake will turn that into a drop.
Mm-hmm.
I am certain of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you know, Jeff Woodworth, biologics. Exactly right.
Yeah, bro. I mean, that's just man.
Biologics.
That's
Biologics.
right. Johnny Gonzalez, Bill, I don't give a dime what you think you're entitled to Belichick. That's exactly right.
Right. Like, but that's not who he is anymore. And that's my biggest problem. I'm not even saying that Jordan is some horrible person. What I'm saying is that Bill's clearly not in control here. Like, Bill didn't write that statement.
Gumby, what did you do to get filtered? Because now I can't see your comments. What did you do to get filtered? Don't get filtered. He had the most boring PC interviews ever. That is why he got the nickname Coach Mumbles. But they were we're on it. We're on the Cincinnati.
Great mumbler, bro.
We're on the Cincinnati.
We're on to Cincinnati.
We're on the Cincinnati.
Yeah, we're focused on the Jets today.
Focused on the Jets today.
Yeah, we're really focused on Philadelphia right now.
I'm going to go home and wreck her box.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that.
We're focused on NC State today.
Yeah, we're not making any changes.
Yeah. We're going to the Big Ten. Love it. Gumby, don't pull a Michigan man on us. Yeah.
Sorry if you're offended by that.
Yeah, Gumby, what did you do? I think it's pretty difficult to get filtered on this show. It doesn't happen a lot.
Like, for instance,
I wonder if that's where Ferris Khan is. Is Ferris Khan
too bad?
Is he in Filterville?
Too fucking bad, man.
Boy, you're not shedding any tears over that.
Dude made his bed. Time to lay in it.
Yeah, that's true. Gumby got in trouble as he logged in as the mayor of Ferrisville. Okay. Okay. Jeff Woodworth says beaver emoji again, Gumby. Oh, there's Gumby right there. I swear, officer, that baggie isn't mine.
This is fucking America.
Monty doesn't read my 16-month membership comment before 8. He owes me $50 in bucked up.
What are you talking about,
what,
dog?
What are you talking about?
What
there
do you
is
mean?
no membership comment from you.
Yeah, we're looking right at it.
I'm looking right at the. Is there a dude Wasikowski? I don't see that. And I'm going to go back and look through all the comments. It puts all of those comments,
that's
like
Calford.
Like Calford giving 20 Monty Show memberships. It puts it in a different envelope.
Yeah,
for
and it
me.
lights it up. It lights it up too.
Yeah,
color-wise.
I don't, Eric. I don't see that comment. I would love to read that comment.
Check YouTube.
Jutta.
Yeah, check YouTube real quick.
Jutta.
We like what's
viewer activity file? No, dude.
Nah, dude, you
it does not show me that.
Yeah, then you didn't make the comment, or
It
it didn't
does
go
not
through,
show me
or
that.
something happened.
Wasikowskinator, because I would happily read it.
Yeah, don't pull an Oak State James, okay? Like, come on.
Yeah, dude, don't pull an Oak State James. I would love to give you $50 in bucked up. I thought it was because of the emojis. Oh, did you use a lot of emojis, dude?
We did what we did.
YouTube has got a
Stay hard
for spam.
Yeah.
Notice we don't really have problems with bots anymore.
No.
Because that they have really, if you use all emojis.
See you later.
Yeah. I think Eric is making a James joke. Oh, okay. My bad, Eric. But you're still a valued member of the show, Eric. I appreciate that.
That's a lie.
Brett. He said that, not me. 16 months, that's a rookie number. Got to get those numbers.
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. I mean, seriously, dude.
Pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
That's so good. That's so good. The Buffalo Hunter membership highlights look like this.
Yeah.
FTDI.
Oh, dude.
Oh, that is so good.
Bro.
Will they read this comment? Hi, fellas.
What up? What's up, dude? That's awesome, bro.
Let's
That's
go.
truly awesome.
Let's go. Jeff Woodworth, I missed the bots. That's exactly
Bro,
right.
that's hilarious. You guys just start highlighting your memberships. That's funny
I love
as
it.
hell.
You inhaled and you did it with a cigar, James. That's Can you believe he was like, well, I did not have. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did,
There's
dude.
DNA evidence on her shirt that disagrees with
bro.
you, or dress or whatever it was. Yesterday. I missed it yesterday. I apologize.
Oh, now it's yesterday.
Eric Wasikowski, a member of the show for 16 months.
Man, okay. All right, here we go. Okay. All right, man. Wow. Okay.
I was hoping it would be, who the is that guy?
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Oh, whatever happened to the guy not going to any more college games? Washington State. Oh, no, Oregon State Board.
Oh,
Oregon.
yeah. Beaverland was talking about burning it down, dude.
Yeah, I'm burning my diploma and all my gear.
Screw this. My jersey's going in the barrel out back.
Never mind, Oregon State has one of the best athletic directors in facilities and football programs and presidents. You know, gotta love the third hour, don't you, though?
Yeah.
She did not inhale. That's how the biologics got on the dress. Listen, she did not inhale. And what do you mean she didn't inhale? Well, check her dress, sir. Oh, if it was Oregon State guy that was going to tear up that's exactly.
I want you to listen to me.
I did not have
I'm going to say this again.
relations with that woman. Then how'd your DNA get on her dress? Oh, it's a little blowy. Like what?
I don't know. I don't know if I don't quite know how to answer that, to be honest.
Okay, we have more food drama, and I should get a picture of this. Let's end with fast food drama.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, did you enjoy the Del Taco yesterday?
Yeah, the Double Del is reliable. It's reliable. It's good. Good burger, reliable, not too much. You know,
Okay.
I got out of there 2 Double Dels, 2 fries for $14. Pretty good.
Okay. And you enjoyed it?
I did, yeah. You know, the thing that I didn't love, the fry game was a little weak, but, you know, it's all good. So, I mean, I love crinkle cuts, but they were a little bit on the cold side. Got to hold them accountable, you know, a little on the cold side. But the burger itself was solid, though.
I am a guy. Now, this is just me. I want a Five Guys double cheeseburger, and I'll probably do that this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I have been craving a really good burger. And, you know, I think 9 out of 10 days I eat really well. Right? My wife, who is an oppressive whole food, shove it down your throat person, probably came out wrong.
Yeah, that was, anyway, continue, please. Yeah.
But again, for lunch today, you guys, I had a whole chicken breast with sweet potato and salsa, and it was amazing. But dude, I would love a Five Guys burger. You know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to Doriner Schnitzel to get a chicken finger hot dog.
First of all, never been there, not once in my life. First of all,
I can't say the same.
Second of all, this doesn't look remotely good at all, even a little bit. Like when we were in Chicago, went to Superdog, incredible. I mean, like, just lives up to it, dude. The way they, the presentation, I also think is lost in fast food. The way Superdog presents their hot dog is incredible, in my opinion. Each one having its own box with the fries inside and everything. Like, this just looks like, if Superdog is Major League Baseball, this is like single A. This is terrible.
This does not look good.
No.
This does not look appetizing.
Why do I want sliced tomato and sauce with a chicken tender on a bun?
They get some points for the pickle. There's no doubt. As somebody who, no.
Hiscock.
God damn it. Look, they get some points for having a pickle on one of the dogs. They do not get points for this whole concept.
Is this even considered a dog?
Well, God. I'm not doing this stupid. Hey, bro. Just a quick question. How many
for a friend?
How many holes are in a straw? I'm not doing it. A hot dog is a sandwich,
Monty,
and that
there's
is
technically 3 holes in a straw.
You want to see a sandwich? Here's a sandwich right here.
What the fuck are you, Ranger Rick?
Yes, I am. That's a sandwich. It's called a chicken sandwich, a crispy chicken sandwich.
Monty, it's a hot dog bun. Can't be considered a sandwich.
I'm telling you right now, that's a sandwich.
I'd love it to be wider.
Well, you know what? Donnie? I would too. But what I'm telling you is, I don't need this in my life.
Who thought this was a good idea?
Wiener Schnitzel. This is real. This is not made up. And according to eatthis.com, They're calling it the Southern Bird Dogs, and they're launching it at 350 Der Wiener Schnitzel restaurants nationwide. They're delicious, crispy fried chicken tenders nestled in the hot dog bun, covered in toppings such as bacon, honey mustard, and grilled
That's
onion.
not what we're about.
First of all, you guys know men don't eat bacon. We don't eat bacon because pigs roll around in their own feces as though they were on roller foods at AM PM, and they eat their own feces, which manifests itself in pork belly and bacon. I lie to myself when I eat a pork chop and I say, hey, this chicken tastes really good. I'm not willing to do that with bacon.
Next question.
So I understand that certain people, and I'm not pointing anybody out, I would never single anybody out, but there's certain people on this show.
I'm a carb-eating motherfucker.
Who, if you put a chicken bacon ranch in front of them, I mean, it might as well be a hot 6-foot blonde because they're going to devour that.
What's up, motherfuckers?
Right? Like, I'm not pointing anybody out.
Facts. I'll be accountable. You give me a chicken bacon ranch with avocado sando, I'm putting that down.
Well, I like Bacavo, bro.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's Bacavos are elite, dude.
Can we at least, can we all agree that the fried chicken boom in this country is a bust?
Juicy.
That drop is undefeated. Can we all agree that, like, listen, I love Super Chicks. I don't need Wiener Schnitzel making me, what did they call these stupid things?
Chicken tendy dogs.
The Southern Bird Dogs. Excuse
Bro,
me.
what are you talking about, man?
The Southern Bird Dog. Like, who's the jackwagon at corporate that's like, okay, what's the next hot dog we're going to do? Chicken finger dog, sir. Who greenlit this? Because you're going to lose a ton of money on this.
Yeah.
Because I'm with you. Wiener Schnitzel's not even on my radar. Now, I don't eat a lot of fast food, and generally when I do, it's Chipotle, right? Because who doesn't like a little E. coli stuff? I go to Chipotle. I'm not generally a Del Taco, Taco Bell, Wendy's.
Ain't no reset.
I'm not even a Jack in the Box guy anymore. Now, you put me in a Super Chicks, damn right.
Different story.
Different story. I'm not going to Wiener Schnitzel. I listen. As a guy who represents fat men in America, I can only tell you so many times there's a limit.
I'm giving you a fucking answer.
There's a limit, right? I don't eat Doritos. They're killing you. Yes, backwoods, sexy Mike Smith. Chick-fil-A is way overrated.
Totally agree. It's the McDonald's of fried chicken.
Calford, don't forget Chick-fil-A and their heterosexual chicken nuggets.
That's right. That's right, dude. That's right. Yes. We all remember that. That was a joke. It was not actually real.
We don't need that in our lives.
Listen, here's the truth. This promotion is not getting me to go to Wiener Schnitzel. That's not happening. I'm not going. It's not something I'm interested in. I'm not going to Sonic. I'm not going to.
No, Wasikowski. You're a hot chicken guy. Okay, so it's Chipotle. Wasikowski, tell me don't be this guy.
Well, I'm getting hot chicken money.
I want the hot honey chicken. Light my face on fire. Tell me you're not the hot honey chicken guy.
Facial recognition.
God, I hate that. My wife, and again, I don't hide much of my life. I am wholly Caucasian when it comes to spice. I want vanilla bean spice on everything. It's not even that I hate spicy food. I can't enjoy it because it's so just uncomfortable.
That's right, T.
People love that hot chicken stuff.
Yeah.
Woodworth, only if the turkey eats it on. Okay, no. How about that turkey bacon? The stadium guy, James, if in Texas you can afford more Whataburger because we don't have state income tax.
They're getting you another way, though.
Gumby, Whataburger greater than 5.
No,
Okay, stop.
No.
Stop it.
Dude, stop. You've lost all credibility now. I
knew today would be shitty.
I knew we would get to this point in the program and someone would say something dumb like this, and it's just not true. It's not true.
Whataburger's 13-12 in conference. There's no way you're taking that over.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have leadership skills. They don't deliver well. They don't deliver in the clutch.
The mechanics that they use to build those Whataburgers
I mean,
are
they're only in business because of Daddy Ball and Five Guys.
Yeah,
you know?
That's a project burger joint.
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. Get your game together here.
Now, I will say this, Gumby. Excuse my terrible cough that won't ever leave me. When I lived in Arizona, again, certain people, and I'm not pointing anybody out. Certain people that I know went to Whataburger and used the words, "This sucks, never again."
You're casual.
I think Whataburger and the bun at Whataburger is remarkable. It ain't even on the same block.
Not even close.
It's not even. It's
Stop disrespecting me, bro.
Dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's not close in my opinion.
You know, J-Lo or Snooki. It's not even a competition.
Too bad.
Isn't Snooki the one from
Jersey Shore?
Yeah. No. J-Lo, Five Guys. Whataburger. The woman on my childhood dancing girl show. Whataburger's good. Five Guys is great.
Yeah.
And I will throw hands. Jeff Wadsworth. Man, you guys, I just can't get rid of it.
Terrible.
And it's only when I'm doing the show because I'm probably projecting my voice. Not probably.
You are.
It's terrible.
Voice gets tired.
Five Guys, $30 for a burger. Worth every penny at twice the price.
Damn right.
Mike Smith, no burger from a fast food joint is worth $30. Well, thankfully, Five Guys isn't fast food. Yeah, let's go. Come on.
What I just said.
Jake?
How about that?
Is Five Guys fast food?
Yes. Okay. It is, technically.
Travis, Five Guys is for the top 1%. Thus,
catch me outside. How about that?
Such as in like.
Yeah. Check out my watch and my chain and everything, you know?
Shadour eats it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Whataburger, In-N-Out, White Castle, Five Guys in 5. Okay. White Castle's highly.
Five Guys in 5.
White Castle is highly underrated.
Dude, but the intestinal tract damage is
rough,
yeah.
Dude. The water butt is amazing. But
it's rough. Bro.
That doesn't mean it doesn't taste good.
And when they opened one in Scottsdale off the 101, I probably had 10, 12 sliders. Dude, that was rough.
Joseph Harper, in California, we call Whataburger In-N-Out. Okay, In-N-Out.
In-N-Out's burger on its own is phenomenal.
The fries are
game
terrible.
Is awful. The shake, I love the shake. Big shake guy.
And I'll continue to say In-N-Out is the Jerry Seinfeld of burger joints. Wholly and completely overrated. Jesus. Five Guys is no Red Robin. True.
Yeah, but Red Robin's a full sit down, dude.
It is. Midweek Coug, Five Guys is so overrated and super expensive. Give me a McChicken.
Get the hell out of here. See, that's why you're a Washington State fan right there. That right there, that kind of nonsense, dude. No. Next, get that off the screen, dude. Next comment.
PG-13, please. Buffalo Hunter, the best part of Five Guys are the Cajun fries. Mrs. Monty
That's
agrees.
a conversation.
Five Guys fries equal peanut oil soaked. Don't disagree.
You see, I like I have simple taste.
Don't disagree. Definitely the Cajun fries for Five Guys.
Okay, so I have Five Guys number 1. Five Guys is my GOAT fast food burger. 100%, no question about it, every single time.
What's number 2? We have a Jack in the Box now, but man, dude, I would take Wendy's over Wendy's. I would take Wendy's over Jack in the Box.
Really?
Yeah, I love.
You love the Dave's Double.
A Dave's Double, dude.
Stay hard.
I'm telling you. Like, you want lower extremity blood flow?
I think the Dave's Double and the Double Del are pretty close. I think Jack's Ultimate Cheeseburger is below those two.
You cannot say a Double Del is even in the same zip code
Why?
as a Double Del.
Del Taco and Wendy's are both fast food joints. They're both drive-through joints.
God.
Like, just because you want a little lettuce and tomato on your square cut, like, come on.
No, jerk face.
Then what is it?
A Double Del it's frozen burger patties.
You think Wendy's is not?
Wendy's never freezes their burger patties.
Please.
Okay.
They may say that.
Oh, but okay. I can't even. That's why I'm odd. I'm not going to play. No. You're not going to come in here and say a double Del from Del Taco, which is a taco joint, is better than a Dave's double. The Buffalo Hunter, In-N-Out or Kansas City barbecue? Nothing Kansas. Dude, the scumbag Kansas City Chiefs, nothing in Kansas City is good. More overrated, Kansas City barbecue. No doubt. Wasikowski, Jake's the guy who goes to a pizza joint and orders the sub. Hey, bro, I know this is a pizza place. Do you guys make chicken burritos? That's who Jake is.
And you're still not going to find me at Wiener Schnitzel.
No, you're probably not going to. That's right. Burgers on a Traeger are so good. Yes, Bomb. They are. Yes, they are. Yeah. KFC has great burgers. No, they don't.
See,
no. Damian Fowler. Yeah, take that, Jersey face. Mike Smith. Dave might lie, but his daughter Wendy is a convincing skeezer. Okay. Okay. I'm ready to play the game. Wendy's, the Wendy at Wendy's, hot or not? Go.
No.
Okay. No. Just call it 5 burgers. Well, it costs as much as 5 burgers.
It's as good as 5 burgers too.
You know, you really think Double Del is close to a Dave's double?
Yes, I do.
God, you're so.
The other consideration is do you prefer flat top burgers or grilled burgers?
Flat top.
Because Wendy's does a combination of both. So they take the patty, they grill it and cook it that way, but then they keep it on a flat top to keep it warm. Del Taco and Jack are both allegedly flat toppers. Allegedly.
Why allegedly?
Well, because like Jack, I know at one point was trying to do the grill game, you know. But I'm pretty sure they flat top.
Because, you know, Area 51, I haven't seen a flat top at Area 51 and they have a Wendy's. No.
Jack in the Box primarily uses their flat top.
They do. And the issue is like the carcinogens that you get off of a grill. But here's the question for you. Impossible Whopper or regular Whopper?
Double cheeseburger.
Oh, the double cheeseburger at Burger King is pretty good.
Okay, real quick. We're going to go here quickly. What is this plastic bowl situation that you brought up earlier? So plastic bowls are killing us now? Is that what it is? Just real quick.
There's a new study out on plastics. And basically... brains from 2024 contain nearly 50% more microplastic than those from 2016. And it's because they're one of the main culprits in this is that we put plastics in high heat environments like microwaves and dishwashers. And so, like for me, I make my morning oats in the microwave, my lunch in the microwave. So this new study came out and it is shortening people's lives. It is not, I think it was in the New York Times. The New York Times had a piece that talked about how microplastics are shortening your life significantly. Human brain samples contain an entire spoon's worth of nanoplastics.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not good.
So we're supposed to graduate to glass now.
I bought what Jake is referencing is I got on Amazon the other day and I bought all new glassware, glass snapware for meal prep and glass bowls for cereal and oats in the morning.
Okay.
And I do not at home. You guys probably have seen, I don't drink out of plastic cups at home. And it's not great. It is.
That's wild, bro.
Go look it up. I'm not the guy that's over here telling you how to live your life, but I'm the guy that wants to live to be 107,000 years old. And I'm going to play golf as long as I can. And I don't want to sneeze out microplastics.
Yeah.
Which is one of the things they say you do now.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying not to drink out of plastic bottles. I'm trying not to drink out of blender bottles. I'm trying not to drink out of or eat out of plastic Tupperware anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And when my glass Snapware gets here, and it may be here already, I'm going to throw all of it out.
Damn.
And I'm going to throw my plastic plates and bowls
Why didn't
out.
you just get it at Costco? Doesn't Costco have glass?
They do, but it's in small quantities.
Oh, okay.
And so I needed bulk because we use a lot of
containers.
We meal prep constantly.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
telling you. Look
That's
it
crazy,
up.
bro.
Look it up. The Monty Show is always presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com. You guys are amazing. I appreciate all of you being here every day. Please hit the like button on the way out the door. If you're watching on X or any of our other platforms, please come over to YouTube. Just get on Google, The Monty Show, Monty, The Monty Show. The first thing that comes up, The Monty Show on YouTube. You can find us on audio podcast, anywhere you get a podcast. Until tomorrow. Say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.